critical waterway of mines. U.S. Central Command explaining this weekend, quote, the blockade will be enforced impartially against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports and coastal areas, including all Iranian ports on the Arabian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. CENTCOM forces will not impede freedom or navigation of vessels transiting the Strait of Hormuz to and from non-Iranian ports. So 20 to 30% of the world's daily oil consumption passes through this strait, and Iran says that it's still in control.
That's Fox's Alex Hogan. Oil prices back on the rise, up 8% this morning. WTI back over $104 a barrel. And now back to the president last night. He was also critical of the Pope, who has been critical of the Iran conflict.
I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime.
And the president also posted on Truth Social he doesn't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Well, a short time ago, Pope Leo reacted, telling reporters on the plane as he flew to Africa.
I do not look at my role as being a politician. I don't want to get into a debate with him. I don't think that the message of the gospel is meant to be abused in the way that some people are doing.
The Pope has since landed in Algeria, the first stop on his 11-day African trip. Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell has put his governor's campaign in California on hold last night, calling sexual misconduct allegations false. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Rising temperatures and a chance for some bad weather. Right now, nothing bad on radar. It's clear over downtown Indianapolis, 68 degrees, going up to near 80 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02.
We're expecting most days upper 70s to maybe as much as mid 80s. Tuesday looks like a day where we may see low to mid 80s. And then again on Friday, there's potential for low to mid 80s.
That's forecaster Mike Ryan at the National Weather Service. Indianapolis, he says, with the warmer pattern also brings a chance for severe weather from Tuesday into Wednesday.
Focused mainly across the northwest part of the state. Wednesday, we may see that retreat back to the west into Illinois and then see some additional chances across the state on Thursday.
And with storms expected Tuesday, the main threat, strong wind, large hail, and a possibility of isolated tornadoes. A man is hurt in a hit and run on the near southeast side of Indianapolis last night. It happened right before 10. East Raymond Street was the location. The man appeared to have been hit while he was walking along the street. He was taken to the hospital but rushed into surgery, so he didn't have a chance to explain to the police what happened to him. An 86-year-old man survived a heavy fire Sunday morning that damaged multiple living units.
We have a single-story, multi-unit building. We have fire through the roof. Engine 35 will be attacked.
That was a call as Indianapolis firefighters arrived at an independent living community on Rosegate Lane at around 4:45. That's near South Emerson Avenue.
WIBC's Jake McDaniel.
For 25 minutes, firefighters battled the fire, not knowing the man was still asleep inside. When that man finally woke up and tried to escape, the roof collapsed and burning debris fell on him. He was able to get out the back door with small injuries.
The man and the firefighter taken to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. Indianapolis cops say a shooting happened in the parking lot of a Kroger on Saturday on the near east side during a dispute over Pokemon cards.
I'm not a collector of them. I understand that, there are some that are very expensive, but this, like I said, we were told an argument. It wasn't like, right now that we know of, it wasn't like somebody was trying to steal one from another person.
Captain Don Weilhammer says the man who was shot is expected to survive. And Indiana gas prices this morning, $3.94 a gallon, down a little bit from where they were last week at this time. The national average, $4.12. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together next on a Monday morning at 6:04.
Jeff Thompson grew up on his family farm. Long days, hard work, and the kind of responsibility you don't learn from a book. He baled hay to put himself through Purdue and continued for years helping run the family's livestock and crop operation. When he wasn't in the field, Jeff was in the classroom, teaching chemistry, physics, and math, and raising 6 kids alongside his wife, Michelle. Faith, family, hard work, and lifelong learning. That's Jeff's foundation. In the State House, Jeff Thompson brings those same values to work every day. A conservative who believes in balanced budgets, protecting taxpayers, and empowering parents. This year, Jeff passed a bill to save homeowners over $1.3 billion in property taxes over the next 3 years. From the farm, to the classroom, to the State House, Jeff Thompson never forgets where he came from or who he's fighting for. Conservative, proven. Vote Jeff Thompson for state representative.
Paid for by citizens for Jeff Thompson.
All right, I'm looking at the St. Clair Street camera at southbound 6570. I see cars going southbound. That is good. That means the weekend work is done and southbound 6570 has reopened from the North Split down to Fletcher Avenue. Now, if you're getting into the North Split this morning, say from the east side, westbound 70, no sweat at the moment. 465 on the east side, 4 minutes into the North Split, and that is uninterrupted, no delays. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Service, your local experts in basement waterproofing and foundation repair. Book your free inspection now at indianafoundation.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What's happening?
Tony, good morning on this Monday. It is a bit breezy. A lot of the day here is going to be dry. Can't rule out maybe some spotty showers for this morning, mid-morning specifically, partly cloudy otherwise, and very warm. Today's high up to 79. We're mostly cloudy, a stray shower or two overnight, mild, a low of 66. Tuesday, mostly cloudy for the morning. Again, a few spotty showers and storms for the afternoon hours. Tomorrow's high, 83, very warm. Wednesday, scattered showers and storms, a high of 81. Same thing Thursday. We're mostly cloudy with a few showers and rumbles of thunder and highs into the low 80s.
That is Marcus Bailey of Wish TV. Marcus, always a pleasure, man. Thank you. Right now, we've got 64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:07. Eric Swalwell suspends his campaign for governor. Eric Swalwell has much bigger problems. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be back in the chair. Swalwell, who has lectured to America for, 6 years, 8 years? Swalwell, who was going to be the toughest guy against Donald Trump. Swalwell, who I'm sure at one time said, believe all women. Well, the allegations of sexual impropriety, including one allegation, a woman saying that she was raped, of paying his nanny with campaign funds, even after her work visa expired. Video of Eric Swalwell with women who are not his wife. And Democrats have come out to say, well, he clearly can't run for governor. He's a member of Congress. Well, only now are we starting to hear that there are some who very much want to get rid of all of the trash. Swalwell on the left. Then there's, who's the chick who was just found guilty of fraud, and it was a Medicare fraud in Florida? Shirless, I can't remember her name. And then there's Gonzalez, the Republican out of Texas. Then there's the Corey Mills stories out of Florida. And you're like, is anybody not corrupt in Congress? And the answer is, I don't know. What I know is that there is a desire from some to clean house. Don't know if that'll happen. And for Republicans, you have to vote on the Democrats first. You can do it all together, or you can vote on the Democrats first. That's the order it has to go. But as for Swalwell, there is no one who has been more pompous, no one who is more egomaniacal, no one who is more of a narcissist. No one. I mean, it's a hard thing to find, at least on the House side. Right, we could talk about the socialists, we could talk about the communists, we could talk about the people who are supportive of Hamas, like in my view, Rashida Tlaib. That's all different stuff. You would have to go pompous. I think he might top all. But the question that is asked at a moment like this, how is it possible that Democrats turned on a Democrat, especially one who is running for governor of California, where, well, the Democrats have a real problem, which is kind of stunning to say, because California runs what I believe they refer to as a jungle primary, which is everybody's running. The top 2 vote getters in the primary, they go on to run in the general, even if they're of the same party. And right now, when you take a look at the California governor race, you see that 2 Republicans are leading the pack. You've got the sheriff of a place called Riverside, Chad Bianco. You have got Steve Hilton. And then you had Eric Swalwell. The Democrats were all cannibalizing each other. They weren't going to get in the top 2. So why in the world is all of a sudden there this controlled, well put together, well planned out, well thought out attack on a Democrat, Eric Swalwell? Well, they needed to get somebody out so they could hopefully get a Democrat into the final 2. Everything that Eric Swalwell did was known to other Democrats, but only now did it come out for the political advantage in California, for the opportunity in California, for the need to help a Democrat get into that final 2. Sadly, the other Democrat who's polling well is Katie Porter, former Congresswoman, the woman who's always screaming at her staff, and the woman who is alleged to have abused her husband by pouring a bowl of hot potatoes on his head. I cannot make that line up. Please don't ask me to say it again. Ooh, bad things in California for the Democratic Party. But more importantly, how in the world did Democrats allow a guy like this to continue so long? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
This is Gary Dick. Agrinovus Indiana CEO Christy Wright at 6:32. Brought to you by IBJ Media's and Greater Indy Habitat for Humanity's Home is the Key to Health event, April 30th. RSVP now at ibj.com/events.
Applied Innovation customer Dr. Chantel Manahan, Director of Technology at MSD of Steuben County Schools, appreciates Applied Innovation's culture that keeps employees long-term.
Having that one consistent point of contact has been fabulous and really helped both of us to get to know each other, which means that he is able to anticipate the needs of our district, the data that we'd like to see, and the practices we have in place to keep things running smoothly.
You appreciate the Applied Innovation partnership?
I'm part of Northeast Indiana Technology Study Council, and we meet almost monthly during the school year, and often the topic of suppliers for copy printing back comes up, and I always share that we're with Applied Innovation, and I would recommend them as far as someone that you can trust to help meet your needs.
Applied Innovation, office technology from a trusted partner. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here. Let me ask you something. Are your gutters frowning from this past winter? Because after all the ice and snow we've just survived in Indianapolis, I wouldn't blame them one bit. If the weight of all that ice and snow has pulled your gutters away from the house, bent, sagging, or just plain giving up on life, it's time to call Gutter Helmet. And we're not out of the woods yet. April showers are coming, and right behind those, the whirlybirds. Those little maple seed helicopters that pack your gutters like they're moving in for the summer. They're like squatters. Gutter Helmet keeps all of it out, giving you 4-season protection no matter what Mother Nature throws at us next. Right now, WIBC listeners get 17% off. Call 800-5HELMET or visit gutterhelmetindy.com to schedule a free estimate. Gutter Helmet, because your gutters have been through enough. That's 800-5HELMET, gutterhelmetindy.com, 17% off for WIBC listeners.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Traffic on the 5s. Matthew Bear, what are you doing?
Good morning, Tony. Looking at northbound 65 out of the south side. Stop and go traffic after Raymond Street into the south split. That is a construction zone. If you're coming up from Johnson County this morning, have a safe trip. Looking great on northbound 65 from State Road 44 King and Franklin up to 465 on the south side. That is a 10-minute trip. There are no delays or interruptions at the moment. Traffic sponsored by the Distillery Complex in Pittsburgh. The Distillery Complex in Pittsburgh is your go-to spot all week for draft action. From rooftop cocktails to live shows, there's something happening on every floor. Plan your night at thedistillerycomplex.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. That's what it is. The time is 6:16.
This is Sammy Terry. There are two things guaranteed in life: death and taxes. Death can be painful, but paying your taxes doesn't have to be, with a little extra cash in your pocket from Indiana Unclaimed. Yes, George, you're right. George the Spider reminds us that Indiana Unclaimed returns over $1 million every single week, and there are hundreds of millions of dollars just waiting to be claimed by the rightful owner. Text Sammy to 46220 to find out if you or your loved ones have unclaimed funds. Claim yours today. Text Sammy to 46220 now.
Paid for by the Office of the Indiana Attorney General.
After a day of hectic schedules, you need a place to unwind. At C&C Lounge, a cocktail and cigar lounge in downtown Greenwood, come relax with friends who appreciate the finer details. Premium bourbon, expertly crafted drinks, and a well-stocked walk-in humidor. Settle into the moment, enjoy the conversation, and discover a place designed for busy people just like you. Relax, connect, savor every moment. C&C Lounge in Old Town Greenwood, a professional smoke partner.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
Most of their mine droppers are gone. We have a lot of people, as you know, at 10 o'clock tomorrow, we have a blockade going into effect. That'll be 10 o'clock tomorrow. Other nations are working so that Iran will not be able to sell oil. And that will be very effective. But what we want to do is we want to, and again, we don't need it. What we notice and what we see and what I think is maybe my idea, maybe not, I don't know. But there are many boats heading toward our country to fill up with oil and then go and take it. So they're not going to go through the Hormuz Strait. And ultimately that'll be corrected. But in the meantime, they're using us. We have more oil because of drill, baby, drill. We have more oil than Russia and Saudi Arabia put together.
We have a lot of oil. We have a lot of energy. We want to sell the energy. Right now, the energy is being sold because the tactic taken by the Iranian regime of, well, we'll just control the strait, has very much backfired on them. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Let's start with some baseline stuff. Iran, the regime is losing. The regime is less than a tenth of what it used to be. They still are able to threaten the people. They still have access to missile launchers. They're still able to do damage. But the only people rooting for the Iranian regime to win are the political left and the woke right here in the United States. That's it. That is who is rooting for them to win. There could be, as polling would show, people who don't like this war and what's happening in oil prices, and that is completely sensible stuff. From just a very shallow position Do you like the oil prices? No. Do you like war? No, right? Understandable. No depth to the questions. It's an understandable place for Americans to be. But when we talk about who wants to succeed, that is the globe sans the American left, and we can call it the European left. It's the same difference, and the woke right. The Middle East wants this. The free and thinking nations of the world want this. And oil buying nations would be very happy not to deal with Iran's garbage anymore. Now, of course, that doesn't include China, but that's another story for another day. J.D. Vance, he's the vice president of the United States. He goes to Islamabad. That's in Pakistan. The Pakistanis, they are very interested in trying to negotiate a peace deal. Of course, all things being what they are and all politics being local, good opportunity for them to get a little closer to Trump when, after all, Trump is already, to them, too close to India. That fight isn't going anywhere. He's there for 21 hours, and they are engaged in negotiation. I saw people reporting that Vance was always calling Donald Trump. What's the matter? He couldn't negotiate this on his own? I'm sorry. The vice president was in contact with the president about how the negotiations was going, and this was an issue. Let's hold off there. But the job was to get a deal. It seems that the Iranians were not interested in anything that involved giving up nuclear ambitions. They just weren't interested in doing it. They refused to do it. They're keeping their nuclear ambitions. Okay, well, that's a problem, because no matter what President Trump says, the only thing he can say with consistency about why he went to war is, well, you have to stop them from getting a nuclear weapon. The nuclear weapon that the Obama bros and Barack Obama allowed them to move forward on with the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. A failure of an idea from the beginning. Ben Rhodes was wrong. Tommy Vitor was wrong. Barack Obama was wrong. These people cannot be allowed to be in charge of a nation. They were simply fools, useful idiots, and that's being kind. So 21 hours of negotiation and nothing. Zero. Zip. This then brings up the conversation of the blockade. Right? Because what we learned from this is that you cannot negotiate with the Iranian regime. It cannot be done. These people are what they are. Now, culturally, they are full on in the tough guy 24/7. They will not yield at all. That's why they have to be destroyed, because there is no stopping. There is a cultural thing at play here. But they also believe that they actually have a position of power. Well, we'll keep ships from flowing through the Strait of Hormuz, and they have to pay us a tax in order to get through, and we'll take $2 million per tanker. Trump and the team said, how about this? Nothing gets through. Your blockade doesn't matter. We'll blockade it ourselves. We will stop all ships from going through, and we'll start doing the mine sweeps. We'll find if there are any mines in the strait. We'll make this happen, don't you worry. But nothing gets through, nothing gets in, and nothing gets out unless we decide it gets in and gets out. Now, at that moment, the Iranians realize, or the regime realizes, that means they can't sell oil. We're talking about billions of dollars a year. The only way they survive. We've talked about Karg Island, Kharg, where the oil comes through and they're able to get, it's 85-90% of their oil. That's the hard currency that funds the IRGC, that funds all the attacks on the people, that funds their ability to go after the United States, Israel, their neighbors, etc. But we never discussed, well, you stop all traffic because other nations are trying to get their oil, and that's a hard thing to do. What Trump said is, okay, this is the next step. Nothing gets through. Best of luck, Iran. Your ships aren't getting through. Your friendly ships aren't getting through. You aren't going to be able to make a dime. It's over. Which is why President Trump said they're coming to us, and they will show you the footage, the trackers of what's going on in the Gulf of America. Gulf of America. Man, that was only a year ago. That's how long we've been at this, kids. That was only a year ago. The amount of traffic is increasing as they will put out there on the social medias, and the traffic is picking up oil and taking it. Then you have conversations about pipelines, that Saudi Arabia is rerouting oil to be able to get it to safer ports. The Iranians believe that if they controlled the Strait of Hormuz, they controlled the conversation. And what the world has said after a month and a half is, we don't care about the Strait of Hormuz. We'll find other ways. And what the United States has now said is, whoa. The Strait of Hormuz is not yours. The Strait of Hormuz is ours. Watch. We just took out your Navy. We took out your Air Force. You're not going to stop us. This is what we're going to do. Does that mean that there aren't still a mine that they can put down? Does that mean there is an attack that they can't do? Of course not. It means that the Iranians believe they had a leverage point, and that leverage point is being taken away from them. And their money's being taken away from them. You take away the money, we talked about this from the very beginning, to get the IRGC to crack. If the IRGC cracks, well, that's good news. That's the latest. That's where we're at right now with Iran. We're going to have an interesting week ahead of us. Matt Bear has got traffic on the 5s. Matthew, what's going on?
All right, Tony, a reminder that Illinois Street is closed at South Street for the Signia Hotel construction. That's going to be going on until sometime in the fall. South side, northbound 65, stop and go from Raymond up to Washington Street, and that is a construction zone with a 2-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by the Distillery Complex in Pittsburgh. The Distillery Complex in Pittsburgh is your go-to spot all week for draft action. From rooftop cocktails to live shows, there's something happening on every floor. Plan your night at thedistillerycomplex.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel Show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Nobody has more fun on the radio than we do. We'll have the biggest stories of the day. It's Monday Gun Day, and we'll have some laughs, too.
Custom jewelry is not out of reach with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. At PA Jewelers, you can customize any piece of jewelry for that special someone. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg. Gold, diamonds, gemstones, and of course those watches from Flederman Von Riest, assembled right here in Indiana. Custom designed jewelry with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Custom jewelry made just for you. PA Jewelers, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. PAJewelers.jewelry.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
You love spring and Indies, so don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
His political career is hanging on by a thread. It's a warm morning with a steady breeze in downtown Indianapolis, 68 degrees going up to 80. Good morning. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. California Congressman Eric Swalwell has ended his campaign for governor.
4 women accused Swalwell of sexual misconduct and sexual assault on Friday. Swalwell has denied the allegations, quoting them about being absolutely false. Democrats are also calling for the Bay Area congressman to resign his current seat in the House. Some even say they will support expulsion if he refuses to leave.
That's Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Swalwell posted on social media sharing that he's deeply sorry in his mistakes and judgment and that he made in the past, and he'll fight serious false allegations that have been made against him. Strong storms could hit Indiana Tuesday, and the threat continues. Beyond that, forecasters say Indiana will see storm chances each day through the work week. They're urging people to secure anything that could blow away in strong winds.
You think about, another thing might be like a grill cover or maybe covers on furniture out back, because you can easily pick that stuff up and carry it away.
Mike Ryan at the National Weather Service. Indianapolis's temperatures will stay in the 70s all week and drop into the 60s over the weekend. A disagreement has developed between President Trump and Pope Leo XIV over the weekend.
In social media posts and remarks to reporters, the president said he's not a fan of the U.S.-born pontiff.
He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world.
The president's comments come after the Pope warned that a delusion of omnipotence is fueling the conflict involving Iran. Remarks widely interpreted as aimed at U.S. leadership. The president pushed back, saying he wants a pope focused on faith, not politics, and criticizing Leo's stance on global conflicts.
Fox's Ted Linder reporting. And NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman, said over the weekend the Artemis 3 crew will be announced soon. The mission is set for a 2027 launch. It will send astronauts to test docking with a commercial spacecraft, moving NASA closer to getting humans back on the moon. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 2.5 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Monday, April 13th, 2026. I'm Gary Dick. Indiana's ag bioscience sector encompasses more than 5,400 businesses and establishments, employs more than 152,000 workers, and contributes an estimated $22.4 billion to the state's GDP. A new report out from AgriNovus Indiana takes a closer look at the industry and opportunities, which CEO Christy Wright says are enormous.
It's such an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be in Indiana right now. And if we do this all right, then Indiana will be the heartland's answer to Boston, to California, to North Carolina, really by drawing on all of the assets we talked about in plant, animal, and human health, as well as our ability to not only invent, but to make and move the innovation that we have here.
The city of Gary is continuing efforts to redevelop the vacant Genesis Convention Center property, and 6 developers have come forth with proposals for potential uses. Earlier this year, the city issued a request for proposals for an adaptive reuse of the facility or new development on the site, which would incorporate residential, retail, professional office, and entertainment options to, quote, energize downtown Gary. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana University is shaping the future of healthcare with Hoosiers in mind. Advancing discoveries that become treatments for Alzheimer's, obesity, cancer, and rare diseases, and training the providers trusted to deliver them. From the lab to your local clinic, IU powers medical breakthroughs and the talent behind them. Discover how IU is solving what's next at iu.edu/impact.
Home sales in Indiana saw a slight increase in March, with home buyers seeing more options on the market. That, according to the Indiana Association of Realtors. Closed home sales last month up 1% from March of 2025 and 27% higher than January. Elkhart-based Welch Packaging Group has acquired Jamel Containers of Chattanooga, Tennessee, expanding the family-owned corrugated manufacturer's presence across Tennessee and the broader tri-state region. Welch Packaging employs some 2,000 people company-wide. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
All right, checking out the south side, northbound 65 slow from Raymond Street up to Washington because of road construction, and that is a delay of 3 minutes right now as they work on adding an extra lane to I-65 on the south side. Westbound 70 coming in from Hancock County looking good. Greenfield from State Road 9 to 465 on the east side, 12 minutes, no delay. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:35. We check on sports. Ryan Hedrick, what's going on?
Tony, good morning. The Indiana Pacers wrapped up their brutal season Sunday with a 133-121 loss to the Detroit Pistons, closing out a tough year filled with injuries and 63 losses. Here's head coach Rick Carlisle.
From, all the different things that have happened, the ailments, a lot of stuff with Tyrese, and, he's doing really well, but it's a process. So we'll look forward to that.
And before the game, Tyrese Halliburton thanked fans for putting up with the team. He missed the year after tearing his Achilles early in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The Pacers now look ahead to the NBA Draft Lottery on May 10th. The Indiana Fever enter tonight's WNBA Draft with the 10th overall pick. On Sunday, the team locked in Sophie Cunningham on a new contract, and Rory McIlroy wins the Masters for the second year in a row, and he takes home $4.2 million. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Heating and air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Introducing Bluebell Pro, a dessert with up to 12 grams of protein and 110 calories or less per serving. Low fat, no added sugars, and gluten-free. Dig into a pint. It's more than just protein. It's Bluebell Pro. Good for you. Never tasted so good.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Any heating and air conditioning problem you've got, we can take care of you. 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
Tickets are still on sale this Saturday. I am speaking at the Madison County Republican Party President's Dinner. They call it a President's Dinner. Not a Lincoln Day dinner. They call it a President's Dinner. They're fancy, but I get to decide which presidents. So everything's for James Knox Polk. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be here. Good to be with you. Looking forward to it. That is April 18th. It's the 18th, right? Yeah, it's this Saturday. I will be there. Snacks will be provided. I have no idea. Well, no, there's a dinner, so there's got to be more than just snacks. Matt Bear will be my driver. That's also not true. That will not be true at all. Sorry. But I will be there. You should actually be there. It's going to be fantastic. And then the following Thursday, I'm at the Morgan County dinner, but that's sold out. That is sold out. So all we need to do is sell out this one, and then everybody gets a little extra pudding. I also don't know if that part is true, but it's going to be a fantastic time, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. I, just like you, have been guilty of this, although I'm doing a much better job at it, which is ending the doom scrolling on social media. I've also ended a tremendous amount of posting on social media. No, I get it. People create livelihoods that way and all that jazz. Most people just create a bad life for themselves. I mean, if my job is to spend my day, beautiful sunny weekend, yelling at trolls, please, that is no way to spend your time. It's no way to spend your life. Although I will say, and let me get a legal ruling on this from my legal advisor, producer Carl. The people who defame me on the socials, I can talk about them, right? Like actual defamation.
Yeah.
I can talk about those people, right?
As long as you're not defaming them.
No, I'm not. No. All I'm doing is noting what it is that got said. I mean, there's a lot of trolls. I don't pay any attention to that. But you know what? I won't mention. Maybe I'll just tell you to go take a look for yourself. Or better yet, don't. So there's this story that if you spend 2 weeks not touching the social media, you can reverse 10 years of social media brain rot. If you just walk away from the madness, you don't spend your time at night before you're going to bed just looking at dumb video after dumb video, or basically quasi-porn video after quasi-porn video. If you just stop taking your phone into the bathroom, well, I do it. I'm guilty. I've done it. I admit I put more antibacterial on my phone than any human being who has ever lived, ever. You can actually have a better life. You have to choose where you spend your time. You have to choose where you spend your space. So they did 467 participants with an average age of 32, and they found that just 14 days without internet access on smartphones provides improvements in sustained attention, mental health, and overall well-being, equivalent to reversing 10 years of age-related cognitive decline. That's that. You know it, I know it, you didn't even need a study, but here's the study. So now what do you want to do with the information? That's the question. What are you going to do with all this new information? Just walk away from it for a bit. When you block the internet access, when you stop doing it, you went from a daily screen time of 314 minutes, that's 5 hours, kids, to 161 minutes, which is 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Looking at your phone. Yeah, I'm as guilty as the next person. We all need to do better at this. The data is there. I'll have the story up at TonyKatz.com. You can see it there. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Lost your energy? Not feeling it in the bedroom anymore? It could be your testosterone. Yes, even if you're a woman. Find out for free.
Synergen X and Low T Center are now offering free testosterone testing for both men and women. Book today at fixmylowt.com.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what are you doing?
Looking at the south side, Tony, northbound 65 stops before Raymond, and then we have a slowdown from the south split up to Washington Street, a delay of 3 minutes. And then we're checking out eastbound 465 on the north side, a little bit slow right now from Ditch Road over to Meridian 31. If you're going down to the airport this morning, ride sharing from the downtown hotels westbound 70 a Dream right now, 9-minute travel time from the Meridian Street entrance out to the airport collector with Ronald Reagan Parkway to Mariplex. Have a safe trip. Traffic sponsored by the Distillery Complex in Pittsburgh. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:46.
Jeff Thompson grew up on his family farm. Long days, hard work, and the kind of responsibility you don't learn from a book. He baled hay to put himself through Purdue and continued for years helping run the family's livestock and crop operation. When he wasn't in the field, Jeff was in the classroom, teaching chemistry, physics, and math, and raising 6 kids alongside his wife, Michelle. Faith, family, hard work, and lifelong learning. That's Jeff's foundation. In the State House, Jeff Thompson brings those same values to work every day. A conservative who believes in balanced budgets, protecting taxpayers, and empowering parents. This year, Jeff passed a bill to save homeowners over $1.3 billion in property taxes over the next 3 years. From the farm, to the classroom, to the State House, Jeff Thompson never forgets where he came from or who he's fighting for. Conservative, proven. Vote Jeff Thompson for state representative.
Paid for by Citizens for Jeff Thompson.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in the live market. No house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Got friends or family who are hearing impaired? We've got you covered. Watch our shows aired live with closed captioning provided by Relay Indiana, making every moment accessible for all. Go to youtube.com/@WIBC to watch live and don't miss a moment.
One of my favorites, also, full disclosure, my wedding song. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning, guys. Good to be with you. We have been told that people who are here illegally, well, they don't get benefits. They're not getting benefits. We don't have a fraud, waste, and abuse problem. Well, we have always known that that is indeed a lie. And the story out of the Chicago Tribune is that more than 16,000 immigrants in Illinois may lose. Hold on, I'll say it again, Tony, like a professional. More than 16,000 immigrants in Illinois may lose food assistance in the coming months. Now, there's a lot wrong with this headline because you'll notice they say immigrants. Are we talking about illegal immigrants? Are we talking about what here? Because the way they write the story, roughly 16,000 immigrants, including victims of domestic violence, may lose access to crucial food assistance in Illinois as a result of federal eligibility changes. Now, what does domestic violence have anything to do with this? I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm asking, how is that part of the story? So already, you're now feeding me a story that's supposed to pull on the heartstrings as opposed to giving me data. They continue that immigrants, including refugees, asylum seekers, and survivors of human trafficking, so including but not in toto. It's not the whole of the 16,000. So when you say they include, to what numbers, to what extent? They're no longer eligible for SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which means food stamps. The question before us is, what is the percentage? Because they say, again, 4 more paragraphs down, immigrants who will remain eligible for SNAP are certain green card holders, Cuban and Haitian entrants, and those residing under the Compact of Free Association, among other categories of lawfully permanent residents. And then it says immigrants without legal status have never received SNAP benefits. Wait, if you're telling me that there are people who remain eligible, and you're telling me that immigrants without legal status have never received SNAP benefits, you're still trying to push the idea that illegal immigrants have never gotten these benefits. But the story doesn't say that because it goes out of its way to discuss certain categories of people who are no longer going to be eligible, but does not discuss those people who are here legally who may be getting the benefit. This is a very, very oddly worded story, purposefully, to try and engage the idea, oh, look at this terrible administration, look at how they hate people. There are people in the United States who shouldn't be in the United States, and we should argue that the benefit side of things, to the extent that we want to benefit society, should go to American citizens first. I didn't say we shouldn't help our neighbor. I'll give you an example. When we talk about a health crisis of any kind, I believe that if let's argue where it was pick the thing. It's smallpox. It's these things that we believe we eradicated in the U.S. But when you have an open border and you have people coming from nations that are not as clean as the United States, just we have a better cleanliness, better hygiene, a better quality of life. You're going to bring diseases with you. When you have an open border, that's exactly what's going to happen. This is not shocking or surprising. If there is an issue and we want to get people vaccinated, I believe in vaccinating everybody, because even people who are here illegally, because it better helps reduce the risk of transmission of diseases and of things that can be problematic for all, specifically American citizens. Why wouldn't I vaccinate all? It's the better health outcome. But the idea of being an open book and an open checkbook to other nations, and to people here illegally, that's a big problem. And we have to stop that kind of thing from happening. But as we see time and time again, what we have is a political left that is absolutely believers in the open borders. They will not stand up. There's a story here. Here's what we get from the United Kingdom. According to Bill Malugin, Fox News, Border Patrol caught and arrested 4 British nationals entering the U.S. illegally in a remote part of Maine, crossing from Canada. This is I believe, part of what's known as the Swanson sector. All right, every part of the border is a different sector, has a different name. And what's been coming across the border in Canada is a serious issue. The names of the 4 British nationals: Ali Muhammad Ali Abdullah, Hamid Mohammed Nagy, Ibrahim Ayub Khan, Mohammed Sultan Saleh. What? Can't say their names? They're British nationals. I don't see the issue. Are we not going to admit that this is an issue? Not only for what we allow in the country, but for what the UK has allowed? We should admit that it is a very, very large-scale issue. But maybe not everything regarding immigration is going poorly. The Immigration Board has denied the appeal of Mahmoud Khalil, and he's one step closer to deportation. Good. The Columbia University student He's a radical Hamas-supporting activist. He supports the destruction of Western civilization. That's my take on his statements. He's the guy who got arrested, and then a judge said, oh, you have to let him out of jail. And I'm not afraid of you, Donald Trump. I don't need you to be afraid of anybody. I just need you gone. You and anybody in the country who is not an American citizen who wants to speak out against the destruction of the United States, in my view, got to go. He calls the decision biased and politically motivated. I don't care what you call it. What does it matter what you call it? Can you imagine what the border had been like if Trump had lost? Matt Bear's got traffic. What's up, Matt?
Northbound 65, slow from Raymond up to Washington Street. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, what's going on? It's Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel show. And I'm not going to lie to you. I needed help. I got a bald spot in the back of my head, and it's embarrassing. I see it when I'm on television. I see it when I'm on the YouTube channel. So I decided to reach out for help. And my friends at We Grow Hair Indie decided to help me out here. These guys are the absolute best. I was a little leery about it. I could not have a procedure that, one, hurt, or two, left me looking like I'd been scalped. But after I talked with Darren and the entire team at We Grow Hair Indie, they told me their state-of-the-art technology, the progress made in hair growth, it's going to be okay. If I can do this, you guys can do this. Contact the team at We Grow Hair Indie, 317-522-2995. That's 522-2995. Get that free evaluation. It's free. You can also go online to WeGrowHairIndie.com. Contact them today and do this with me. WeGrowHairIndie.com.
I'm with Amy Buchanan, practice manager, and Bruce Goldberg, president of Rivers Bend PC, who depend heavily on Applied Innovations managed IT services and telephony products.
We get laptop computers, desktop computers. They also handle our firewall, our internet here. Even our telephone system is through them as well.
Applied Innovation has become very important to your business.
I think that Applied Innovation is one of the best out there, to be honest. I don't have to try and figure things out myself. I feel like I have a team over there that I can work with to get things resolved quickly and efficiently.
Bruce, how has Applied Innovation brought benefit to Rivers Bend?
The benefit to us is that we're able to focus on our core business. So since we've switched over to Applied Innovation, we've really just been able to focus on doing what we do best and let them do what they do best.
Applied Innovation. Office technology made simple from a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Since the day I got to Indianapolis, if I had a problem with my garage door, I called Garage Doors of Indianapolis because they can take care of the problem the same day. And when it's time to replace my garage door, it will be Garage Doors of Indianapolis because they've got the great selection and the team to make sure it's installed right the first time. Talk to Garage Doors of Indianapolis. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 875-4577. Online at doorstoday.com. Doorstoday.com.
When the cold takes over, Bassett Services is the name you can trust to keep your home warm and safe. From furnace repairs to full system replacements, we provide reliable solutions with care and professionalism. For urgent repairs or routine maintenance, Bassett delivers service you can depend on. We've been the first call for heating and cooling in Indianapolis for decades, so sound the hound at BassettServices.com for all your heating needs. Bassett Services.
Always by your side. Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Good Monday morning. Coming up in 2 minutes, a warm start to the week, but forecasters are warning you to stay alert. What Indianapolis cops say led to a West Side shooting over the weekend, and what firefighters in Indianapolis say happened to a man, but is totally avoidable. After Fox News, from the Dugan Air Heating and Cooling Mitsubishi Electric Studios, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 7 o'clock.
3 hours to go. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Before President Trump's new blockade on Iran in the Strait of Hormuz, after weekend talks with Iran fizzled, he told reporters last night flying back to Washington it won't affect the U.S.
We have more oil because of Drill Baby Drill. We have more oil than Russia and Saudi Arabia put together.
U.S. Central Command giving some new details on the blockade, saying the blockade will be enforced impartially against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports and coastal areas.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
Now, the Strait of Hormuz remains a critical waterway, and the Iranian military today is warning that no Gulf ports will be safe if their own ports are threatened.
Oil prices back on the rise today, almost 8%, putting WTI back at $104 a barrel. The president also last night lashed out at Pope Leo, saying he's not a fan.
He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime.
And the Pope reacted this morning, talking to reporters before landing in Algeria to start an 11-day trip to Africa.
I will continue to speak out loud against war, looking to promote peace.
After a Truth Social post in which President Trump said Leo was catering to the radical left, calling the pontiff weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. The president wrote he doesn't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. The Pope hasn't ever said that, but he has criticised leaders who wage war, also describing as truly unacceptable the president's warning that an entire civilization could die.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Democrats dropping out of the race for governor in California. Congressman Eric Swalwell.
After several women accused him of sexual misconduct and one woman alleged he raped her, Congressman Swalwell posted on X, "I will fight the serious false allegations that have been made, but that's my fight, not a campaign."
Fox's Jill Nato. Democrats and Republicans have called on Swalwell to leave Congress. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The threats you could expect as you start another work week. Clear radar in downtown Indianapolis, 68 degrees, a warm, breezy start to your work week. Highs near 80 today. Good morning. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02.
There is a threat for severe storms on Tuesday, focused mainly across the northwest part of the state.
That's Mike Ryan at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis.
Wednesday, we may see that retreat back to the west into Illinois and then see some additional chances across the state on Thursday.
And he says all threats are on the table, including isolated tornadoes. Oil prices are rising again this morning. AAA says gas averages in Indiana about $3.94 a gallon, with the national average at $4.12. What Indianapolis firefighters want you to know after a fire at a senior living home on Sunday. Here's Jake McDaniel.
This is 6 years young, said, "I'm going to ignore that smoke alarm. It's got to be my neighbor." And he just continued to sleep through it.
Indianapolis Fire Department Battalion Chief Rita Wright says while other neighbors escaped the independent living community after it caught fire Sunday morning, that man stayed in bed as the fire continued to spread through.
The roof collapsed and burning debris fell on top of him. The injuries to him were not serious.
Investigators believe an electrical issue sparked the fire in the attic. Wright says if you ever hear a smoke alarm, don't assume. Get up, look into it, and get out. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man was hurt in a hit and run on the near southeast side of Indy last night. It happened along East Raymond Street just after 10. He was walking, and police say a car hit him. He was taken to the hospital in bad shape and went straight into surgery. A domestic incident in Indianapolis turned fatal early Sunday morning. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
Shots going off at a home on Indy's west side just after 12:30 in the morning Sunday. As a result, a man is in the hospital and his daughter is dead. IMPD is calling it a targeted attack.
We believe that these two individuals were targeted by another person or other people, but we believe it's isolated to just these two individuals in this house.
IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer said the father was able to identify the suspect. Police said the man in question is a convicted murderer with a history of domestic violence and drug convictions. Jarrett Lewis, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Pacers season is over. They lost to the Detroit Pistons on Sunday, 133 to 121. They ended the season with 63 losses.
We're into a long summer, which will be different, but probably needed to make sure that we can fully recover from all the different things that have happened, the ailments.
That's head coach Rick Carlisle as Tyrese Halliburton got up before the game and thanked fans for enduring this long season. They had the NBA draft lottery to look forward to in May. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:05. Traffic on the fives. What's up, Matt Bear?
Good morning, Ryan. Looking at northbound 6570 slow out of the south split up to Washington Street. Northbound 65 tight from the north split out to west. Check it out, southbound 6570 on the St. Clair Street camera, and all lanes have reopened. We had that weekend closure. That is no longer, and you're good to go southbound from the north split down to Fletcher. Traffic sponsored by Fresh Time Market. Glow up your self-care routine. Get 30% off vitamins and body care. Fresh Time Market, April 8th through the 14th. Fresh Time Market, rooted in your well-being. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Let's see what we got. Do we have Marcus Bailey? Do I have it right? Wish TV meteorologist?
Yep.
Hey, what's
Here
going
we
on?
are. Hey, good morning. Happy Monday there, Tony. Very warm as we go throughout the day today. Might have a few spotty showers over the next few hours. Nothing too crazy. The rest of the day is just partly cloudy, a little breezy, and again, near record highs. Today's high, 79. Mostly cloudy. A few stray showers overnight, a low of 66. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, even warmer. There will be some chances for some scattered showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon. A couple of those could be on the stronger side. Tomorrow's high, 83. Wednesday, scattered showers and storms, late 81. And Thursday, some on and off showers and storms with highs still holding into the low 80s.
That is the one and only Marcus Bailey of Wish TV. Thank you, Marcus, man. You're doing fine, upstanding work. Spot in heaven for you. You're all set. 64 degrees. I don't get to decide that, by the way. This just in. I don't get to make that call. 64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:07. The season, mercifully, has come to an end. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. JMV joins me right now, the voice of sports in Indiana, 93.5, 107.5, The Fan. And the Pacers end the season with 19 wins and 63 losses. Before we get to the lottery and the draft and the opportunities, you had already written off the season. You did it early. You're like, I don't need to pay attention to this. This is all just get through the year and get healthy and get set for next year. What is your take now that it's over?
Well, Tony, it's like this. By the way, brought to you by LD Smith Plumbing, 317-927-7186. It was awful compared to going through 7 games of the NBA Finals just last June, ending the season, the regular season, at this point in April, and going again almost until the end of June last year. And then we'll see what happens. Somebody had asked me last night, Tony, it's kind of funny. Somebody had said, hey, what are the expectations for this team next year? Well, the expectations are coming back to a championship level from this really bad season that we just had to witness, and we're all writing it off. It's like a gap year. Hey, it's okay. And losing at this level, and losing in general is never okay, but we do write this one off. And my answer was the expectations are at a championship level. Do I believe they can do it? I believe they can, just because of the return of Tyrese Halliburton. But a lot of things do have to fall into place. And it will take a minute. It's not going to happen instantaneously. It is going to take a minute. But again, the expectations are going to be through the roof, even after this disastrous heavy loss season that we had to endure, that we will write off because it's a gap year. It's strange.
What do they need? If you're an off-season guy, what is the plan?
Well, for me, obviously you implement Zubats and you see what happens. Here's the one odd thing, Tony, that's going to happen, and I think everybody should prepare for it. They played at a pace that got them to the NBA Finals and almost won them a championship that was very, very different than what most other NBA teams played, a very high pace, and we loved it. We really did love it. I think that is going to slow down a bit, not just because of Ivica Zubats and he coming in. I just think that it's going to slow down a tad from what we know. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think that's going to be the one noticeable thing that at least tempo-wise, pace of play-wise, that's going to slow down a little bit. But I say this. It cannot be the best it can be without 1 through 4. They don't control those odds coming up on Mother's Day when the ping pong ball's bouncing around on the NBA draft lottery. But if they can land 1 through 4, and then we can start talking about what they can bring in to help them out right away to see where they're going to draft, that will help things out immensely, not just for the moment, Tony, but also for the longer-term future. I would love to see them. Everybody would love to see them do that. But again, that is out of their control. We'll see what happens coming up on Mother's Day.
Talking to JMV, the voice of sports in Indiana. So we are the second worst record in the league, the Washington Wizards. They have the worst record in the league, but we still have a chance to get one of those draft picks because it is a lottery system. What happens if we're not one of those top 4 picks? And then who is your pick?
Well, and then there is something Rick Carlisle talked about after the game yesterday. There is a contingency plan if they don't end up landing it. Here's what happens. You're outside of 1 through 4 here, and you're not going to get that lottery selection. It is going to be surrendered to the Clippers because of that trade deadline deal that brought in Ivica Zubats, and then Benedict Mathurin goes to the Clippers. So it is essential to me that you end up getting the great fortune. Now, it's kind of interesting, too, because a lot of people like me want to bring up conspiracy theories. And do I really believe that? No. Do I want to believe it? Kind of. But it's going to be interesting to see. You get 52%, I believe, is the chance to land 1 through 4. I think 14% to get number 1 overall. And if it's outside the top 4 here, then you surrender that selection to the Clippers. So it is essential, but as I mentioned earlier, Tony, it's completely out of their control because of that Ivica Zubats deal at the NBA trade.
So deadline. Are you saying you think that somehow there will be some kind of intervention of divine sorts that will keep us from being a top 4 pick?
Oh, you mean getting... Yes, you mean getting screwed, Tony?
Okay. We can use that terminology.
Getting screwed. Yeah, I do. I do believe that. I'm not normally a conspiracy theorist, but I think because I joined you this morning, maybe I'm becoming a little bit more of one. Maybe the belief is a little bit there that they can get hosed in this case. Yes.
Was it me or was it producer Carl?
It was me.
I blame everything on Carl, Tony. I don't know about you. I just think he's there. He's Carl. Every known blame that I find, it's on Carl.
By the way, who is your pick? If you're picking number 1, who are you grabbing for the Pacers?
AJ DeBanza out of BYU. If you're picking number 1, the most talented player for me in the draft, that would absolutely be it. That would throw every Pacer fan, I think, far and wide. That would be the pick.
JMV, he's the voice of sports in Indiana, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. Catch him every single afternoon, Monday through Friday. And I'll see you in a month for the Indy 500, my pre-race partner right there. We got to start talking race day, son.
You got that right. Hey, I can't wait. I don't know about you. Are you counting the days, the hours, the minutes like I am?
I'm not counting the hours and the minutes because I just have too much to do. But it's on the calendar.
Let me tell you, buddy, the one thing I don't want to see, I want to see you. I want to hang with you. I don't want to see your scarf like I had to see last year because
I didn't wear a scarf last year. I wore no scarf last year.
I'll make that up. I'll make that stuff up.
Right. But I'll bring a scarf with me just in case. JMV, man, voice of sports. Appreciate you. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Hamer Nigel here. Have you lost your energy? Do you feel yourself losing confidence and gaining weight? Are you not feeling it in the bedroom anymore? It could be your testosterone. Yes, even if you're a woman. Testosterone is one of those hormones that controls energy, confidence, and sex drive, too, for both men and women. More details at fixmylowt.com.
And when testosterone is low or unbalanced, it drains your energy, alters your mood, affects your body, and decreases your sex drive. Want to find out if your testosterone is unbalanced? Find out right now for free. Starting now, Synergen X and Low T Center are offering free testosterone testing for both men and women. Stop by or book today at fixmylowt.com. fixmylowt.com. Man or woman, get your free testosterone test. Book today. fixmylowt.com.
Traffic on the 5s, and Matt Bear, what are you doing?
Yeah, Tony, a reminder that Shelby Street is closed on the south end of Fountain Square for drainage improvements, and that's going on until the fall. Northbound 65 slows Raymond Street up to Washington Street, a 2-minute delay. Eastbound 465 on the north side, slow from Ditch Road over to Meridian. Southbound 31 on the brakes from 116th Street to 111th. And inbound 69 tightens up at 96th Street. Traffic sponsored by the Distillery Complex in Pittsburgh. The Distillery Complex in Pittsburgh is your go-to spot all week for draft action. From rooftop cocktails to live shows, there's something happening on every floor. Plan your night at distillerycomplex.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We have got ourselves 64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at the time. It's 7:15.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Jeff Thompson grew up on his family farm. Long days, hard work, and the kind of responsibility you don't learn from a book. He baled hay to put himself through Purdue and continued for years helping run the family's livestock and crop operation. When he wasn't in the field, Jeff was in the classroom, teaching chemistry, physics, and math, and raising 6 kids alongside his wife, Michelle. Faith, family, hard work, and lifelong learning. That's Jeff's foundation. In the State House, Jeff Thompson brings those same values to work every day. A conservative who believes in balanced budgets, protecting taxpayers, and empowering parents. This year, Jeff passed a bill to save homeowners over $1.3 billion in property taxes over the next 3 years. From the farm, to the classroom, to the State House, Jeff Thompson never forgets where he came from or who he's fighting for. Conservative, proven. Vote Jeff Thompson for state representative.
Paid for by Citizens for Jeff Thompson.
Hey, what's up? It's Hammer from Hammer and Nigel. For my friends at Rubbish Works, look, it's April. It's time to declutter. It's time for some spring cleaning. So clean out that garage, clean out the basement, clean out the office, get rid of the old appliances, the old furniture, and let Rubbish Works do all the heavy lifting. They bring the truck, they bring the dumpster, and they bring the labor. They do all the work. I know this because I've seen it firsthand. Schedule your appointment today, rubbishworks.com.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
Bring on the popcorn moment. Brought to you by Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com. If it's inside your 4 walls, you call Booher, and the next thing you know, you got something nicer inside your 4 walls, which is really what it's all about. Not only nicer, but more valuable to you, more usable to you, whether it's your kitchen, your bathroom, your basement, whatever it may be. You've got Booher on your side 24/7, 365, meaning you just give them a call. Listen, it's the middle of the night. They're not going to call you back in the middle of the night, but they are going to get with you. And then they're going to come talk to you. And then they're going to explain to you their 5-step design process from start to finish, starting with that initial consultation, listening to you, understanding you, and then getting done what you need done the way you need it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen. They have got the highest quality brand names that you know and you trust. They stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. And they don't think you're weird because you have certain needs that other people don't have. It's not that kitchen from Pinterest. It's the kitchen that works for your life. Yeah. They understand. They've done this before. Boer Remodeling, that's who you need on your side to get what you want done right. Boer Remodeling, 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-852-5546. Boer Remodeling, 852-5546, or online at Boer, Booher, BoerRemodeling.com. The popcorn moments. Let's go. It's a story you need to hear to believe. Then grab your popcorn, because there is more. A lot of people talking about the back and forth between the Pope, Pope Leo, and President Trump. The Pope came out to condemn President Trump and condemn the war, and President Trump is President Trump. There's nothing new or surprising or in any way shocking about this. How dare Donald Trump speak about the Pope this way? This is so unacceptable and terrible. And what say you, David Ignatius, over there at MS Now?
So, Joe, like you, I found the self-iconography in the image of himself as the healing Jesus figure profane. That's the only way to put it. It just, the minute I saw it, I was troubled by it. At a time when he's picking a fight with Pope Leo, he's already gone after the Ayatollah. Maybe he's trying to be broader in his attacks on religious leaders.
And that's how you know you don't have to pay attention to David Ignatius of the Washington Post there and MS Now. What an ignorant and stupid thing. First, the Ayatollah was not a religious leader. The Ayatollah was a fanatic and a terrorist, and we are all better off that he's gone. Not a religious leader. Stop it. But when you are so devoid the ravages of thought because you hate Trump more than you love your own mind, this is what you get. This is what this so-called news network has to afford us. The imagery he's talking about is that President Trump put out an image on his Truth Social of Trump, and he's in the robe, and he's supposed to be the part of Jesus, and he's healing somebody, and you could say, dude, it's just, stop it. Stop. Enough already. I've said this about many posts and many tweets. But the issue is, why is Trump not a fan of the Pope's? Well, it could be that the Pope says it's enough of war, and how we cannot have the delusion of omnipotence. So the Pope went after the president. I've often said about the Pope, at first, when it comes to canon and doctrine, I'll leave it to Catholics to share with me their take on what they think of Pope Leo. I would have said this about Pope Francis or Pope Benedict or anybody else. I'm not the best judge on this subject. But when I see that the Pope is getting political, I'm not surprised, because the Pope is never going to be someone who makes the clear statement that terrorism is bad and we need to end terrorism and the world is better off and safer. The last Pope we had to take a stand against cruelty was Pope John Paul II regarding communism. In a different way than Thatcher and Reagan, sure, but still took the stand. One wonders whether Pope Leo would take any stand. No, rather the Pope is going to take a position that if we all just learn to love one another, everything will be fine. That may very well be true, but that isn't going to happen when you have a radical Islamist in charge of a nation with a ton of weaponry and a desire to build a nuclear weapon. The Pope can't keep you safe. Can't. So he goes after Trump. Trump does what Trump does. He goes after the Pope. He's okay with crime. He's okay with violence. I'm not a fan of the Pope. Stop catering to the radical left. No part of this is shocking or surprising. None of it is. If we are going to start with the place that the Ayatollah was a religious leader and not a terrorist, well, then we can't start from a place of honesty. But this is the Washington Post. This is the same Washington Post that referred to al-Baghdadi. Remember the Islamic, the ISIS leader? When they wrote his obituary over there at the Washington Post, they referred to him as an austere religious scholar. I guess David Ignatius is still carrying that water for terrorists. Would it be better if we had none of this and we all lived in a level of peace? It'd be awesome. It'd be great. But I live in the real world. I live in the world where the terrorists want us dead, where the Islamists want to take over. If the Pope believes that he lives in a world where prayer alone can do it, I'm not going to argue with the man. He is more than welcome to. Although I am going to note the amount of firearms that exist underneath the Vatican. I am going to note the armed guards that he travels with. I'm going to note that there is the world we want, and I believe we should aspire to that world, but there is the world that is, and I believe we need to live in it. Which is really the difference between the conservative and the liberal. I don't live in the world I aspire to. I live in the world that I live in and work towards the world I aspire to, which involves hard work and sometimes the destruction of those who are desperately trying to destroy you. I don't expect the Pope to be with me on that one. I don't expect anybody to be shocked that Trump responded to the Pope. Matt Bear's got traffic on the fives. What's up, Matty Boo Boo?
All right, looking at inbound 69, Tony, stop and go traffic 106th Street, 2465. Southbound 31 is stopped in Carmel from City Center Drive down to 111th Street. Eastbound 465 north side stop and go Ditch Road over to Meridian 31. Northbound 65 jams before Raymond up to Washington Street. That's a 5-minute delay. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Nobody has more fun on the radio than we do. We'll have the biggest stories of the day. It's Monday Gun Day, and we'll have some laughs, too.
Who is Hammer to say nobody has more fun on the radio? We have more fun on the radio. Who does he think I'm going to have some words with him. I'm going to have some words with Hammer about who has more fun on the radio. My gosh. Can't make that claim. Now we're going to war. All right, it's fine. They have a good time. Me, I'm more concerned about your roof right now because we have the rain. It comes in, it comes out. We are not out of the month of April. There is more rain to come. Strong winds, heavy rain. It can expose hidden damage, lead to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. It can seep into your attic and your walls, your insulation. It can cause mold, rot, expensive structural damage. You need to talk to Moss Roofing because Moss Roofing offers free inspection. So if it's a small leak, bigger roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions with over 35 years of experience. Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. They know how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. So do not allow a minor drip, a little something, to turn into major repairs. For roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
This is Sammy Terry. There are two things guaranteed in life: death and taxes. Death can be painful, but paying your taxes doesn't have to be, with a little extra cash in your pocket from Indiana Unclaimed. Yes, George, you're right. George the Spider reminds us that Indiana Unclaimed returns over $1 million every single week, and there are hundreds of millions of dollars just waiting to be claimed by the rightful owner. Text Sammy to 46220 to find out if you or your loved ones have unclaimed funds. Claim yours today. Text Sammy to 46220 now.
Paid for by the Office of the Indiana Attorney General.
Hi, I'm Bart Zimmerman, General Manager of Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. We keep things light around here. No pressure, no hassle. But we're always serious about what matters, like delivering real value with reliable Hondas at great prices, and making sure every customer feels comfortable and appreciated. So yes, we have fun, but we're here to take good care of you.
Come in for the Honda Spring event going on now. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Introducing Bluebell Pro, a dessert with up to 12 grams of protein and 110 calories or less per serving. Low fat, no added sugars, and gluten-free. Dig into a pint. It's more than just protein. It's Bluebell Pro. Good for you. Never tasted so good.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
We have the best technicians in the business here at Family. They'll take care of you every time. 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Rising temperatures and a chance for some pretty bad weather. Right now, nothing bad on radar. It's clear, 68 degrees, a warm, breezy start to your Monday morning. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Michaelis Corporation. Here's what's trending at 7:31.
We're expecting most days upper 70s to maybe as much as mid 80s. Tuesday looks like a day where we may see low to mid 80s, and then again on Friday there's potential for low to mid 80s.
Forecaster Mike Ryan at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says the warmer pattern also brings a chance for severe weather Tuesday into Wednesday.
Focused mainly across the northwest part of the state. Wednesday, we may see that retreat back to the west into Illinois and then see some additional chances across the state on Thursday.
And he says all severe threats are on the table. The United States is hours away from putting a naval blockade in place on Iranian ports.
Now, the Strait of Hormuz remains a critical waterway, and the Iranian military today is warning that no Gulf ports will be safe if their own ports are threatened. U.S. Central Command giving some new details on the blockade.
Fox's Trey Yingst.
U.S. Central Command giving some new details on the blockade, saying the blockade will be enforced impartially against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports and coastal areas, including all Iranian ports on the Arabian Gulf and Gulf of Oman.
It comes after the Trump administration's attempt to negotiate with Iran collapsed over the weekend. Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell is ending his campaign for governor of California. In a post on X, Swalwell says he's deeply sorry for mistakes in judgment he has made in the past. He also said that he'll fight what he called serious false allegation. The decision follows claims from a former staffer who says that she was raped by Swalwell. Pope Leo says he will continue speaking about the war in Iran, even as tensions with President Trump continue.
The Pope speaking to journalists as he starts a 10-day African tour after a Truth Social post in which President Trump said Leo was catering to the radical left, calling the pontiff weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. The president wrote he doesn't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. The Pope hasn't ever said that, but he has criticised leaders who wage war, also describing as truly unacceptable the president's warning that an entire civilization could die.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Gas prices up to $3.94 a gallon this morning in Indiana, says AAA, a little bit below the national average, which is $4.12. And sports on WIBC at 7:34. The Indiana Pacers won't be in the NBA playoffs this week. They're heading into the offseason instead, waiting to find out what draft position they have after a 133-121 loss to the Detroit Pistons in the finale. Head coach Rick Carlisle says the team finished the season playing better.
Particularly this last set of games from Orlando on, I thought we regained the competitive spirit that we had a lot of the year, even though it was a struggle to win games.
Obi Toppin scored 21 points to lead the Pacers, who finished the season with just 19 wins, the fewest in their NBA history. The 2026 NBA playoffs tip off Tuesday with the Suns hosting the Blazers, and in the East, the Hornets take on the Heat. On Wednesday, the Magic visit the 76ers out west. It's the Clippers and the Warriors. The Indiana Fever enter the WNBA draft tonight with the 10th overall pick. They just signed Sophie Cunningham. And at the Masters, Rory McIlroy wins for the second straight year, finishing at 12 under, taking home a little more than $4 million. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:30. Traffic on the 5s. What's shaking, Matt Bear?
Good morning, Ryan. Crash reported 38th Street at MLK. Also, northbound 65 stops before Raymond up to Washington Street. That's a 5-minute delay. Southeast side, northbound 465 slow from 74 up to Brookville Road. Northbound 65 on the south side, stop and go traffic, Edgewood Avenue up to 465. Inbound 69 slow from 106th Street, 282nd. That's a 3-minute delay. Southbound Keystone Parkway, stop at Carmel, drive past 116th Street. Southbound 31 moving again, but slow from 111 to 465. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:36.
Yesterday in Halifax County, one colony stopped hedging its bets.
WIBC celebrates the spirit of 76. Brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov.
April 13th, 1776. News spread that North Carolina had authorized its delegates to vote for independence. The Halifax Resolves, adopted the day before, made it the first colony to take that step. The document stopped short of declaring independence outright, but it removed hesitation. Reconciliation was no longer the objective. Other colonies were watching closely. For the first time, separation had the official backing from an American legislature.
The spirit of 76. The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov and search for yourself, loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Whenever I'm out a-wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen. Where friendly
Today on the marketplace, pizza. Pizza. Now, I actually feel like I may have done this before. I may have done something like it before. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. During downtime, clearing my head, getting ready for what's next on the show, I find myself on Facebook Marketplace. Cool stuff, odd stuff, weird stuff, strange stuff. All sorts of stuff is on the Marketplace. I bring it to you, the Marketplace segment, brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's your cash. Go get it. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Fast, easy, free to use. It's that final paycheck dividend. It's a refund. I don't know why you're getting cash, but they don't know how to bring it to you. So the Attorney General has it. Stop that. Go get your cash. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Go check it out. Matt Baird joins me right now. He's in the WIBC Traffic Center. And Matt, I know that you're a man who enjoys a nice piping hot bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah, I had one last night. No, it has to be cold, but yeah, I had one. I had a bunch of them.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean it has to be cold?
Oh, yeah, it's all cold. You didn't know that? Yeah, you got to leave it in the fridge for 7 hours, and then you can eat the oatmeal. Anyways, yeah.
Hold on. You have 8 bowls of oatmeal at night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's cold?
Yeah, it's all cold. It comes straight from the refrigerator and goes to my belly.
Why do you eat it cold?
Because it's better. It tastes a lot better. What you do is you put a little peanut butter whey on it, maybe some dark chocolate, and you leave it in the fridge for 7 hours, and you have a whole new product. Yeah, everybody does it. Everybody does it.
I'm confused.
I just explained it very well. You make the oatmeal during the midday, you put it in the refrigerator, and then when you get home at night, it's all there ready to be eaten. Yeah.
All 8 bowls.
Yeah. Well, it's 7.
Now, is each one in its own bowl?
Yes.
Or do you have it in like one large bowls, but it's 8 bowls worth?
No, it's no one large bowl. It's sacrilege. You have to separate them out so you know what you're eating while you eat it.
Oh, okay.
It's a design system.
No, Matt, you're fine. You're fine.
I think it was on Dives, Diners and Drives, the one with Guy Fieri.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it's a Guy Fieri thing.
Yeah,
got it. But what about so you like your oatmeal ice cold? But how about your pizza? How do you like your pizza?
Oh, piping hot, just hot, so I can just
piping hot.
Yeah. Ooh.
I do not know where this pipe is, but you like it piping hot. What is your pizza of choice? Could it be Pizza King?
Oh, I do love the Pizza King. I love flour. Anytime you touch one of the pieces just covered in flour, it just gets all over. It's good, though. It's very delicious.
Someone is selling on the Facebook Marketplace. This is, I don't even know how to describe this. It's an LED Pizza King light box.
Oh, okay. All right, let's check it out.
So it's the Pizza King logo, and there's the king. He's going to be eating some pizza and be like, that's a good piece of pizza. And and now you can put it on your wall, and it's all lit up and be like, I have a friend now.
I have a
Pizza
friend and Pizza King. Okay. Oh, this is great for psychedelics. You could take a look at this. He has the pupils just really wide, and he's putting a domino in his mouth while wearing a red dress.
I think he's putting a domino in his mouth. I don't think that's what's happening.
Platform shoes for the men.
Well, he does not have supportive footwear. He needs the Good Feet store. But that is a square slice of pizza.
Gonna wear my lawyer's
That's
wig.
not a domino that he's trying to eat. That's some pepperoni on there.
Got a ski mask on.
He doesn't have a ski mask on. It's a crown. And it says Pizza King.
I am the king.
He's the king of pizza, don't you know?
I come from Mount Comfort.
He's not the crown prince of traffic. He is the Pizza King.
Crown prince. Did I get bombed?
The crown prince.
I'm going to be out of
Traffic.
business by the end of the week.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I love Pizza King. It's delicious.
This could be yours for $50.
No.
It's powered by USB. It's 10 by 7. It's got a 4-foot cord with a dimmer.
Oh, I meant no.
And you can even get a larger version, and you can even get your own cut. So this guy makes these. I don't know if he has the rights to this, though. I don't know if he has the rights to this one. This could be bootleg. This could be Black Market Pizza King.
Black Market. Only found on the dark web.
Dark web.
This is cool. It's talent. I mean, I'm glad he can make these things. I just don't want it in my house. That's all. It's cool.
No.
It really is nice. It's well done, and it's fun. It's a little Hoosier nostalgia. So pick it up. Put it in your house. Enjoy.
Now, which is more Hoosier nostalgia? Is it Pizza King or is it Greek's Pizza? Now, full disclosure, I do work with Greek's Pizza. I just want to say that clearly and right off the who is more Indiana? Pizza King or Greek's?
I'd have to say Pizza King because they were all over the place. We had one in rural Indiana when I lived up there several years ago, and I know there have been locations in other rural parts of the state. And Greek's just has that location south of Broad Ripple, right?
They've got the Broad Ripple location. Well, they got locations all over the place. I mean, they started in Muncie, so.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe it is Greek's. I don't know. I've had Greek's once. I thought it was phenomenal, and I love me some Pizza King. So they can share it. They can share the Hoosier nostalgia title.
No. There must be one winner, and the other must be destroyed.
2 men enter, 1 man leave.
Right. It is the Pizza Thunderdome. But we will, in a future show, discuss the whole cold oatmeal thing, and you're going to have to do the math on that for us.
It's okay. I'd be happy to.
All right, would you?
Yeah.
Would you really be happy to?
Remember, I'm not a professional health coach or nutritionist by any ways. so
Well,
fully qualify.
Your other options are myself, Ryan, or producer Carl. So by default, you win the title.
Yeah. Pay me.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I look amazing right now.
Oh, good.
Oh, I look incredible. I would totally get with this. I'm not even going to lie.
You both are handsome
I'd be
men.
like, pow! That's how good. That's it. That too. Yeah. That's it. I'm gonna now read from about one of our advertisers and see how quickly they leave us as an advertiser.
They're already gone. Don't worry.
After saying, "Oh me, I'd get with me." Nothing tells an advertiser I want to be part of a show more than Tony Katz talking about how much he wants to get with himself.
They want to be on a winning team, man.
Oh,
you're good.
It's right here.
Yeah.
It is right here. All right. You know what? We'll do traffic first, then we'll get to it. Go ahead.
Northbound 65 stop before Raymond Street up to Washington Street. That is a 5-minute delay right now. Now I'm looking at Keystone Parkway. This is a problem area up in Carmel. Southbound lane stopped. Main Street almost down to 106th, and that is a 7-minute delay. Inbound 69, a 3-minute delay from 106th Street to 82nd, and on the east side, northbound 465 slowing from 70 up to Penn Pike. South side, northbound 65 stopped after Southport Road up to 465, and again after Keystone into the south split, as I told you. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:45. A $200 million buyback in mortgage securities, plus a new rate-friendly Fed chair coming this spring. These moves intended to push mortgage rates lower, and the last time rates dropped, we saw a selling and buying frenzy. Now is the time to prepare to sell your home. Time to call the expert, Mark Dietel. Maybe what you need to do is sell right now. Speed is what matters. Mark can give you a fast cash offer. Mark Dietel is the real estate expert, trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. No long-term contracts. You just pick your move date. You can cancel anytime you want. Heath in Indianapolis said we were preparing for our new build and needed our home sold at a specific time. Mark Dietel's team listed it strategically and sold it in just 4 days for full price. Their expertise made our move smooth and stress-free. Call the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended, the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he will buy it. Call Mark Dietel today. 317-755-4232. Get all the details or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, Dietel, markdietel.com.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in the live market. No house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest. Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. If you've experienced storm damage, make the call to Michaelis. Here's Richard Michaelis to explain why.
Thanks, Pat. Michaelis is a local, family-owned and operated company. We're your neighbors, serving central Indiana for over 40 years. We offer free home inspections and are experts in roof damage caused by rain, wind, hail, tree impacts, and significant storms. Have gutter and siding damage from a storm? We take care of that too.
And if there's interior damage from the storm, is that something Michaelis can help with?
Yes, Michaelis repairs both interior and exterior storm damage. One of the best things we offer is helping you navigate the insurance process to make it as easy as possible.
If you've suffered storm damage, call the local company you can trust. Call or text Michaelis at 844-FIX-INDY. Water, storms, fire, or wet basements, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Make it Michaelis.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here. Let me ask you something. Are your gutters frowning from this past winter? Because after all the ice and snow we've just survived in Indianapolis, I wouldn't blame them one bit. If the weight of all that ice and snow has pulled your gutters away from the house, bent, sagging, or just plain giving up on life, it's time to call Gutter Helmet. And we're not out of the woods yet. April showers are coming, and right behind those, the whirlybirds. Those little maple seed helicopters that pack your gutters like they're moving in for the summer. They're like squatters. Gutter Helmet keeps all of it out, giving you 4-season protection no matter what Mother Nature throws at us next. Right now, WIBC listeners get 17% off. Call 800-5HELMET or visit gutterhelmetindy.com to schedule a free estimate. Gutter Helmet, because your gutters have been through enough. That's 800-5HELMET, gutterhelmetindy.com, 17% off for WIBC listeners.
Spring is fast approaching and a great time for a new Lincoln at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. 0% financing is back. That's right, 0% for 48 months on new Corsair, Nautilus, and Aviator. Plus 0% for 36 months on new Navigator. With these rates, it's absolutely the best time to buy. Be sure to check them all out at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Our family serving yours since 1972.
0% APR for 48 months on 2026 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, and Aviator. 0% APR for 36 months on 2025 Lincoln Navigator. Subject to credit approval. Offers end soon. See dealer for complete offer details.
You've probably heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's not houses, cars, or anything like that. It's actually your money being held by the Indiana Attorney General's Office Unclaimed Property Division. We're talking forgotten wages, old bank accounts, refunds, insurance payouts, stock dividends, and more. Right now, nearly $1 billion is waiting to be claimed by Hoosiers just like you. Find out if some of it is yours. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov today. It's fast, free, and easy.
Remember that sheet metal you got in 2021 to keep out them zombies you thought was coming?
No matter what scrap metal you've got, it's all good with Sol Good Industries. 317-929-1111.
What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Dave Matthews Band makes their highly anticipated return to Ruoff Music Center on Friday, June 26th. Tickets will go fast. Make sure you get there. Get your tickets today at WIBC.com.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life.
So last week, when Craig was sitting in the chair, and I appreciate Craig Collins tremendously, I'm Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning, guys. Good to be with you. It was a conversation about why the Attorney General, Todd Rokita, is suing the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. The claim is that the sheriff is not complying with any of the laws that engage the governing of enforcement of federal immigration regulations. So now you have, do I have this right, Producer Carl? You've got the Monroe County Sheriff. His name is Ruben. Is it Mart or Marte?
I think it's Marte.
Okay. Ruben Marte. Hopefully we're pronouncing it properly. He's now suing the AG. So the AG, Todd Rokita, sues the Sheriff of Monroe County for not working with ICE to detain serious criminals. And now you've got the sheriff suing the Attorney General. So what is the argument here? Is the argument that the AG is overstepping? Is the argument that the AG has no say in what happens with what a sheriff does? The AG has no place in this? There comes a moment whether our Attorney General actually has teeth or doesn't have teeth, that regardless of whether it's Rokita or anybody else. And by the way, that also comes with a bit of, are we sure we want these things? Because if you give the teeth, they will bite. But there's a real question here regarding, well, does our local law enforcement work with immigrations and customs enforcement? This was the question that we asked of Chief Bailey when he was the chief of police. We asked point blank, if you are asked to assist, will you? If you're asked to assist Immigration and Customs Enforcement, will you assist? We eventually got the answer of yes. Does the new chief, Tanya Terry, does she feel the same way? For whatever reason, Chris Bailey went on to become the deputy mayor for Joe Hogsett. Don't ask me what that's all about. I can't do that math. No how. How can you work in that administration? Joe Hogsett is just a lower class Eric Swalwell. I mean, what did I say? I've got data. I have got reporting. I didn't say anything that isn't clearly on the up and up. How could you go work for this guy? Beyond me. But now I asked Tanya Terry, what would IMPD do? What power do sheriffs have, and what power do we ask a question about? And what are you suing the AG for overstepping? If you're not working with ICE, don't we want that to be what happens here? There's a lot to this story. It's at WIBC.com. Matt Bear has traffic.
Southbound Keystone Parkway on Carmel. Crash reported before 106 and stopped back to Main Street. Delay time at 21 minutes. Southbound 31, stop and go from 116th Street to 465. Inbound 69, slow 106 282nd. Matt Bear at WIBC Traffic.
Time now for the Retirement Report with Casey Weed. Megan Mozak here with financial advisor Casey Weed, founder and CEO with Howard Bailey Financial. Volatility in the markets can make for some sleepless nights for people worried about their retirement money. Casey, what advice do you have to help us get through these volatile times?
Well, remember, Megan, markets cycle, so volatility is normal. If you're worried, you probably don't have a plan. A risk analysis can help you determine if you're overexposed to market risk. A retirement advisor can help you make adjustments so your allocation matches your goals and your comfort level. If you're worried about volatility in the markets, you probably don't have a plan, but we have a great resource to help our listeners today. We call it the Retire with Purpose Toolkit, and you can get it by calling or texting KIT to 888-494-5004. My team helped to put this together just for you, and it's complimentary. The center of it is a copy of my latest book, Job Optional. It has chapters on everything from investments to Social Security to income planning. We also include guides on other big topics like long-term care and strategies for helping to reduce your taxes in retirement. Just call or text KIT, K-I-T, to 888-494-5004, 888-494-5004.
Take advantage of this offer and get your Retire with Purpose Toolkit today. Just text KIT to 888-494-5004. The team at Howard Bailey Financial will get your Retire with Purpose Toolkit to you right away. So simply call or text KIT to 888-494-5004.
Howard Bailey Securities LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. This is prepared for informational purposes only. It does not address specific investment objectives or the financial situation. Firm does not provide tax services.
Sure, it's a garage, but the garage is my laboratory where I can actually go in and work and I can do whatever I want.
That's your neighbor Align talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation.
I walk over to my neighbor's house and I was like, hey, I just cannot find like a flooring company that I just feel good about. And she was like, our neighbor, a good neighbor, he's been in that business for a long time. Maybe you should talk to him. Of course, it's Galaxy.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings is UV resistant and will not yellow. And it's not epoxy. It's 4 times stronger.
Just having the floors tie in with everything, it's perfect. It really is.
Commercial or residential, Galaxy transforms pools, patios, garage floors, driveways in as little as 1 day. And it comes with a lifetime warranty.
If Galaxy could help me with figuring out how to organize my tools, I think the wife would be also happy.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook. We are out of this world.
Yeah, Hammer's going to tell you about this amazing sale going on right now, Window Nation, windownation.com. It involves 0% interest financing and saving a ton of money
on brand new, professionally installed, high-quality windows. I had them installed in my house. They were in and out within a day. Left my place cleaner than before the install. 45,000 five-star reviews online with Window Nation.
This is a mega sale. This is legit. Window Nation's the more you buy, the more you save sale. It's happening right now, where you could get up to 50% off all window styles for your home. Plus, you could get them with 0% financing for up to 5 years. All you have to do is schedule a free consultation. That's right. Speak to somebody for free. Ask all the questions. WindowNation.com. Hurry, the sale ends soon. WindowNation.com.
Good Monday morning. Coming up in 2 minutes, damaging winds and large hail are the main threats for storms this week. I'll tell you when, what you could expect to pay at the gas pump this morning, what brought police out to Southwest Indianapolis, and what happened at an Indianapolis senior living community. After Fox News from the Dugan Air Heating and Cooling Mitsubishi Electric Studios, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
Iran is on deadline again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but unlike the one President Trump pulled back from threatening a bombardment, this one would impose a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran refused to reopen fully to oil and other shipping last week.
Other nations are working so that Iran will not be able to sell oil, and that will be very effective.
The president talking to reporters last night returning to Washington after weekend talks with Iran fizzled in Islamabad, where Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports.
Vice President J.D. Vance offering what their officials are calling his final offer to the Iranians, which includes some red lines. That has been taken back to Tehran, and perhaps President Trump upping the ante now, saying he's going to put a blockade on Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz if they don't reach a deal. 10 a.m. Eastern, U.S. Military Central Command says the blockade will be enforced impartially against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports.
Iran has responded that no port in the region will be safe. As a result, oil prices back up more than 7%, WTI back over $104 a barrel, leading stock futures lower on Wall Street. Now back to the president. He also ranted against Pope Leo on Truth Social and told reporters,
he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapons so they can blow up the world.
Pope Leo responded this morning before landing in Africa for an 11-day trip.
Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people are being killed, and I think someone has to stand up.
Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell has dropped out of the governor's race in California.
The 45-year-old Democrat has been accused of sexual misconduct by 4 women. Allegations include one former staffer who says Swalwell sexually assaulted her on 2 occasions. Swalwell has repeatedly denied these claims.
That's Fox's Alex Hogan. And Swalwell, there are calls from Democrats and Republicans for him also to resign from Congress. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The warning and a timeline. You have a clear radar in downtown Indianapolis, 64 degrees. We're going up to 79. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 8:02. Strong storms could hit Indiana on Tuesday into Wednesday, and the threat continues beyond that. Forecasters say Indiana will see storm chances each day through the work week, and they're telling people to secure anything so it won't blow off in strong winds.
Be thinking about, another thing might be like a grill cover or maybe covers on furniture out back, because you can easily pick that stuff up and carry it away.
Mike Ryan at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says temperatures will stay in the 70s through the weekend and then drop off into the 60s. A man is seriously injured, but his daughter is dead after being shot over the weekend. Jarrett Lewis has the story.
IMPD officers finding the man on the front porch of his home on the west side of Indianapolis early Sunday morning. He and the front door covered in blood. Inside, police located the man's 33-year-old daughter in worse condition. She later died at the hospital. IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer said they believe the suspect specifically targeted the 2 victims.
We believe it's isolated to just these 2 individuals in this house.
Before being taken to a hospital, the father told IMPD who shot them, a man police say is a convicted murderer with previous domestic violence arrests and protective orders involving the woman killed. Jarrett Lewis, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
A delivery driver pulled out a handgun during an argument in a Middletown neighborhood Friday. The dispute started over how fast the man was driving. Several people, including kids, confronted the driver, and that's when the weapon came out. No shots were fired. The driver was arrested. The person making deliveries appeared to be working under Amazon's network of contracted drivers. An 86-year-old man survived a fire Sunday. Here's Jake McDaniel.
We have a single-story, multi-unit building. We have fire through the roof. Engine 35 will be attacked.
That was a call as Indianapolis firefighters arrived at an independent living community on Rosegate Lane at around 4:45. That's near South Emerson Avenue. For 25 minutes, firefighters battled the fire, not knowing the man was still asleep inside. When that man finally woke up and tried to escape, the roof collapsed and burning debris fell on him. He was able to get out the back door with small injuries.
And the man and the firefighter were both taken to the hospital. The Indiana Fever enter tonight's WNBA draft with the 10th overall pick. And last night, after the Indiana Pacers lost to the Detroit Pistons, 133 to 121, head coach Rick Carlisle said he's looking forward to the Fever season.
A lot to be excited for with the Fever. You know, Caitlin being back, Aaliyah, Kelsey, Lexi, and Sophie. It's all good stuff.
And meanwhile, Carlisle's team prepares for an off season in which they won't make the playoffs. They were 19-63, the fewest wins in Pacers NBA history. I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:05. Traffic on the fives. Good morning, Matt Bear.
Good morning, Ryan. Looking at southbound Keystone Parkway approaching 106th Street. Crash reported. Traffic is stopped. Back to Main and Carmel. A 25-minute delay. You can use US 31 instead, but that slows at 116th Street to 465, and that delay is at 2 minutes. Inbound 69 stop and go. 106th Street, 282nd, a 3-minute delay. Northbound 65 south side stop and go traffic after Keystone Avenue up to Washington. Eastbound 70 slammed West Street into the south split, and inbound 65 tied from MLK to 21st. Traffic sponsored by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store, or you can shop online. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What's happening?
Hey, Tony. Good morning. We got some partly cloudy skies today, a little breezy, and there could be a stray shower storm later on this afternoon, but a lot of dry time. Today's high up to 79. Mostly cloudy, a stray shower overnight. Very mild lows around 66. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, really warm. There could be a few scattered storms in the afternoon. Some of those could be on the stronger side. Tuesday's high 83. Wednesday, some scattered showers and storms in the afternoon and evening, also into the low 80s. And Thursday, scattered showers and storms with a high of around 82.
That is the one and only Marcus Bailey right there of Wish TV. Thank you, Marcus. Always a pleasure, man. We have got 64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:07. So President Trump moving forward with the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Now, what you'll be told is, hey, this isn't actually blocking the strait, it's blocking the ports. Okay. That's the way we want to say it. Tony Katz at 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. That from CENTCOM. It could be a more of a legal definition than anything else. The moral of the story is, if the Iranian regime believed they controlled oil markets, they're about to learn that they don't control anything. We're going to control their oil market. This after the vice president, J.D. Vance, went to Islamabad to have a negotiation with Steve Witkoff, with Jared Kushner, to get a deal done with the Iranians, and nothing came forward because they won't give up their nuclear ambitions. To which the woke right and the political left said, why should they give up their nuclear ambitions? You've got the American left, the European left, and the woke right all in favor of the Iranian regime still being a regime. Weird stuff, if you ask me. I'm not down. I believe that they are outrageously mistaken. And I'm very happy to see more and more people looking at Megyn Kelly and going, what is this? Why did we ever buy into this? Because why did we ever buy into this? She's so strong and tough and sure. Sure, Jan. Sure. So you've got the blockade of the ports, and that means that Iran is not going to be able to sell oil. They're not going to be able to bring in dollars. Going to starve the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and hopefully this will make them crack and allow the people to get out of their homes, go after the IRGC, and then control the country. The president has not shown that real regime change is his desire. He is okay with behavior change. He said it the other day. Either way, we win. Proving that the rules of Trumpism are not only in full effect, we were right from the very beginning, going back to 2016. The first two rules of Trumpism. The first rule is Trump wins, and the second rule is that a deal can always be made as long as it adheres to the first rule of Trumpism. I always understood he wasn't a conservative. I know with whom I'm dealing. I'm just amazed that still, all these years later, there are some people who don't understand the guy. The same guy, by the way, who during a war could show up to a UFC fight, get huge applause, be shaking hands, and everyone's like, this is unbelievable. He's a rare cat, man. You cannot deny the political acumen. You also can't deny that he is seeing this differently than I see it. I may not get to everything I want, or at least that was the case before everything went to pot in Islamabad. We might now see the actual destruction of this regime, which is what I want. But it really does show how little control now the Iranians have over what they thought was their key strategic point, which is the Strait of Hormuz, over the oil. All right, so you sent oil markets nuts. You know what markets do? They adapt. There's a great conversation here about capitalism. Everything you're seeing about oil, we could connect this to iPencil. And if you've never read iPencil, holy cow. Milton Friedman has a great explanation of it, even though he wasn't the originator. The idea of all of these different disparate forces coming together to create a better product. We can't get the oil through the strait. We'll move the oil a different place. We'll get the oil from someplace different. Forget them. We're going to do what's best for us. And therefore, we're going to cooperate with other people to get the result that we need. Yeah, capitalism wins, socialism doesn't, no matter what Zoran Mamdani says, which I will get to. And while this is going on, we will keep an eye on what's happening with Eric Swalwell, whose political career is over. Paying the nanny with campaign funds, paying a nanny who overstayed her work visa. And we haven't even gotten to the rape allegations, the sexual harassment allegations. He had to give up his run for governor in California, which, of course, was the point. For what other reason would Democrats note what kind of lowlife he is? This was a known story about him. He was known to be a lowlife. And yet, they all covered for him until it became politically expedient not to. Is he going to get expelled from Congress? Is Gonzalez out of Texas? Is Corey Mills out of Florida? It could be a very interesting week for the House going into the midterms. Keep it here. I'm Tony Katz, and this is Tony Katz. This isn't Tony Katz today. I forgot what time it is. 93 WIBC. It's a lot of shows, guys. Good morning.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust. Call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration.
So acupuncture is the most effective treatment for infertility. If you're dealing with infertility and you're not having acupuncture, you're really missing out as far as probably the biggest thing. And the biggest reason is most of the problem that occurs is inflammation. You know, the inflammatory process associated with the ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, those types of things that are caused by endometriosis, PCOS, all those different types of things are oftentimes the leading cause for infertility. That inflammatory process, and that's what really acupuncture is amazing on taking down in a nice natural way. So it makes sense that acupuncture would be very effective along those lines because that is the leading cause.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Hun, I think it's time we build that walk-in closet I've always needed.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about a HELOC, home equity line of credit from Lake City Bank. Using money from our home for whatever we need as we need it.
Great. Let's get a SHELOC.
No, it's HELOC. Home equity line of credit.
Oh, well, for the closet I have planned, we'll definitely need a SHELOC.
Hey, you're the boss.
Get a HELOC from Lake City Bank. Learn more at lakecitybank.com. Subject to credit approval, equal housing lender, NMLS number 431669.
Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear, he is in the WIBC Traffic Center. What's going on?
Crash clear on southbound Keystone Parkway approaching 106th Street. Still slow at 126. You should be out of there before too long. Looking at eastbound 465 north side. Stop and go traffic Michigan Road over to Meridian. On the south side, northbound 65 slows after South Keystone Avenue up to Washington Street. A 9-minute delay. Eastbound 465 stop and go before and after Arlington. And then we hit the brakes again from I-74 up to Washington Street. Traffic sponsored by Fresh Time Market. Glow up your self-care routine. Get 30% off vitamins with Body Care at Fresh Time Market. April 8th through the 14th, Fresh Time Market, rooted in your well-being. I'm Matt Bear on the fives at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:16.
Hey, did you hear about that multi-billion-dollar Roundup settlement?
Yeah, it impacts people who are exposed to weed killers at work or at home, even if you just used it in your own yard. Lawsuits claim it causes non-Hodgkin lymphoma, a blood cancer.
But we're not sick, so that doesn't affect us.
But it does. This cancer can take 10 to 15 years to show up.
That's a long time after exposure.
It is, and that's why the settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you get sick, even years from now, you could get $6,000 to $165,000 or more as part of this settlement.
So what's the catch?
If you stay in, you give up the right to sue them later.
Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 1-888-403-8201. If you or a loved one has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, even if they've passed, you must register for benefits. That's weedkillerclass.com. 1-888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Lost your energy? Not feeling it in the bedroom anymore? It could be your testosterone. Yes, even if you're a woman. Find out for free.
Synergen X and Low T Center are now offering free testosterone testing for both men and women. Book today at fixmylowt.com.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
In the daytime.
All right, there's a lot to try and comprehend here. Regarding the IEDC, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, and something called Iron Nation. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning. It is a venture capital fund for Israeli startups. Again, I asked the question out loud, what is the job of the IEDC? Gary Dick joins us from InsideIndianaBusiness.com on the Twitter X at IIB. I like the concept of the IEDC. And I have asked point blank, I have asked the governor this. I want to be named the ambassador to New York for bringing business back to the Midwest. I actually want to be the Indiana ambassador to business growth, because I want to get businesses who don't bring their politics. I can help with this. I want to see growth. I am a believer in this. I believe that our environment does this. This is very different. This is about dollars committed through the IEDC. Talk to me about what's going on here.
Yeah, it's called the Iron Nation Indiana Initiative, Tony, just announced literally 20 minutes ago here in Indianapolis. We'll be doing some interviews later in the day for the show this week. But Governor Braun making this announcement, $15 million investment from the state of Indiana, $30 million plus commitment from this Iron Nation partnership, which was created, Tony, after the October 7th attacks, where the economy, obviously in Israel, was disrupted. They felt there was a need for venture investment to get startups and others back on their feet and going. And this is now expanding to Indiana. Again, the whole concept is to connect Indiana companies and organizations with high-tech companies in Israel. And as many people know, Israel, known as Startup Nation, incredible technology, a startup environment there, looking to grow in Indiana. So it will be interesting to hear details on this, but just announced about 20 minutes ago.
So the conversation here is, why is this the purview of the IEDC? At what moment do we think that this is what we should be doing, whether it's Israel or any place else? And I'm not opposed to the idea of Israel coming to Indiana and saying, hey, there's an investment culture here. We want to build this. We want to grow this. Why is the IEDC writing checks?
Yeah, I think if you talk to the IEDC about it, I think they would say that this is another step toward increasing the global nature of the Indiana economy, reaching out to folks not only in this country but around the globe to invest in Indiana, quote unquote, Indiana open for business. So I think that's the argument, is putting dollars, incentives, whatever the case might be, toward investment from other places around the globe. And again, kind of incentivizing or helping to put a spark between the connection between the two companies, or countries. It's interesting, Tony, that there already is a fair amount of investment from Israeli companies in Indiana. In fact, I think there's a company that's based in now, has the world headquarters in Westfield, Taranis, which is a precision agriculture, a drone technology company. Rafael Advanced Defense Systems has just announced a major deal down at Crane in that area as well. So I think the concept of the idea is to kind of jumpstart or add fuel to that kind of investment that's been taking place. They hope to get more of it down the road.
Listen, talking to Gary Dick from InsideIndianaBusiness.com on the Twitter X at IIB. I like expansion. I think this is the kind of thing that absolutely drives people nutty. I think that this is, and I just want to say it clearly for everybody, working with other nations, bringing investment in, taking a look at some of the high-tech things, I'm all about it. Do I want to see the Israelis do well and ally? Absolutely, I would. If the French wanted to come and stop being ridiculous and look for investment, it would make sense. To write a check is everything that makes people crazy with the IEDC. It is a backfire move of the largest scale. I just want to be on the record. While I say that, it is just an unbelievable miss. But I think maybe the larger question is, have other partnerships like this been done with other states? Is there something that is seen in Indiana outside of writing checks that people are finding exciting?
Yeah, I think, in fact, this Iron Nation initiative is looking at other locations around the country, to be sure. to continue to grow that concept, if you will. And I think back to the larger question that you raise, and it is a legitimate question to have on the table in terms of the state's role in economic development. But that is, if you think about it, in the competitive nature of economic development as we see it around, not only around the Midwest, around the country, states and regions around the country offering incentives to do this kind of thing. So whether it's something that people agree with, disagree with, or whatever the case might be, it's part of the competitive landscape. Where the rubber hits the road is where this ends up 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road, and it is successful in doing a stated goal, and that's attracting headquarters companies and those types of things from Israel to locate here.
Let's talk about some of the other things going on. You've got state revenues beating projections in March. You have home sales slightly up, but you also have prices slightly up. What is the business community take on the economy for Indiana, and what do they see coming down the short-term road?
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty, continues. You mentioned the housing industry, and some numbers were out just on Friday from the Indiana Association of Realtors that showed home sales up just slightly. And I think the feeling is, mortgage rates have dropped, kind of moderated. And the feeling is 2026 is going to be an okay year, nothing great, not a bust, but nothing great either. A lot of uncertainty with the geopolitical issues, interest rates, inflation, all those kinds of things impacting that. And as you look at the broader picture, when you talk about housing, Tony, of course, it has a big impact on the economy in terms of jobs and investment and all the types of things that go into the suppliers and the workforce that support the industry. So a lot of question marks, kind of a so-so first quarter heading into the remainder of the year.
Gary Dick, InsideIndianaBusiness.com, the Twitter X at IIB. I appreciate you taking the time, man. As always, good to see you. Matt Bear has got traffic on the 5s. Matthew, what do we know?
All right, fellas, looking at northbound 65. Stop-and-go traffic before Raymond, straight up to Washington Street. It's an 8-minute delay. Southbound 6570 also slow through that construction zone. North split down to Washington. Southeast side, northbound 465 slow from 74 up to Brookville Road. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We should expect some serious macro pressure and plenty of headline chaos for the weekend. We'll throw in some weird internet energy up front. Hey, it's Casey. Have a great weekend. We'll join you back here Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
For nearly 100 years, WIBC Wealth Management has helped families and businesses make smart financial decisions that stand the test of time. From personalized investment plans to tax strategies that work for you, we take a big picture approach, connecting you with the right experts to help protect what you've built and plan for what's next. WIBC Wealth Management, here for every chapter of your financial story.
Hammer and Nigel.
Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general, is announcing the creation of the Fraud Enforcement Division. Tell me if this does anything for you.
Okay.
A new fraud detention center. These are all paid for by your tax dollars, but at the same time, you escape some of these woke lunatics that would allow it to happen. Where are we at with this?
I'm all in.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with Zero Res. Hi, this is Denny Smith, and if your house still smells like winter, yeah, it's time. Spring means fresh air, but not if your carpets and ducts are holding on to months of who knows what. This month, get Zero Resified from Indy's #1 carpet cleaner. 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at just $129, plus $599 for a whole system air duct cleaning. Call Zero Res 317-388-5141, ZeroResIndy.com for the WIBC special.
Hi, I'm Bart Zimmerman, General Manager of Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. We keep things light around here. No pressure, no hassle. But we're always serious about what matters, like delivering real value with reliable Hondas at great prices, and making sure every customer feels comfortable and appreciated. So yes, we have fun, but we're here to take good care of you.
Come in for the Honda Spring event going on now. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
After a day of hectic schedules, you need a place to unwind.
At CNC Lounge, a cocktail and cigar lounge in downtown Greenwood, come relax with friends who appreciate the finer details. Premium bourbon, expertly crafted drinks, and a well-stocked walk-in humidor. Settle into the moment, enjoy the conversation, and discover a place designed for busy people just like you. Relax, connect, savor every moment. CNC Lounge in Old Town Greenwood, a professional smoke partner.
Spring is fast approaching and a great time for a new Lincoln at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. 0% financing is back. That's right, 0% for 48 months on new Corsair, Nautilus, and Aviator. Plus 0% for 36 months on new Navigator. With these rates, it's absolutely the best time to buy. Be sure to check them all out at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Our family serving yours since 1972.
0% APR for 48 months on 2026 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, and Aviator. 0% APR for 36 months on 2025 Lincoln Navigator. Subject to credit approval. Offers end soon. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hi, I'm Cherise Sample Hughes, Women in Government Board Chair. Alzheimer's disease often starts subtly with a memory slip, lost word, or forgotten appointment. For patients experiencing memory and thinking issues, there are FDA-cleared blood biomarker tests that can help detect the buildup of proteins in the brain that can lead to the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. That's why early detection and diagnosis are so important. Sharing details about your memory and thinking issues with your doctor can help determine if testing is right for you. Find more at womeningovernment.org.
Hammer and Nigel.
Code Red. The left, the right, China, and the race to control AI.
What needs to be controlled? Most people, maybe they've downloaded ChatGPT, because I make AI videos of like Nigel making out with Whoopi Goldberg, and we put that on our social media. I don't think there's a race for China to try to outdo us in that category.
Hammer and Nigel. Weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in the live market. No house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
3 hours to go.
93 WIBC.
Before Trump's new blockade on Iran in the Strait of Hormuz.
What happens next?
He told reporters it won't affect the U.S.
Happens here.
We have more oil than Russia and Saudi Arabia put together.
Gas prices up to $3.94 a gallon this morning.
Stay in the know.
He doesn't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
While you're on the go.
Several women accused him of sexual misconduct.
On air, online, and on Alexa. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The pattern forecasters say you should get used to. Clear radar over downtown Indianapolis, 64 degrees going up to 79. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. Strong storms are developing across the Midwest this morning, and some of those storms could move into Indiana.
Could we get a few stronger storms or maybe a rogue severe cell into northern Indiana today? We certainly could later on. Areas like Lafayette, Kokomo, and in particular places farther north like South Bend and Fort Wayne.
Alex McGinnis, a forecaster at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis, says the better chance for storms comes tomorrow into Wednesday, and all threats are on the table for all parts of the state. Pope Leo XIV spoke to reporters this morning while traveling to Algeria and responded to recent criticism from President Trump. He said he doesn't see himself as a politician or as aligned with any political party.
Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people are being killed. And I think someone has to stand up and say there's a better way to do this.
And this comes as President Trump posted on Truth Social that Pope Leo's not doing a good job leading the Catholic Church. He also called the Pope too liberal, including on crime and foreign policy issues. President Trump says he'll keep pressuring Iran if it does not give into plans for nuclear weapons. He made the comments during a phone interview with Fox News Sunday Morning Futures. The comments come after talks between U.S. and Iranian officials in Pakistan ended without an agreement over the weekend. Because of the war,
Indiana's gas prices continue to go up. The price of oil is up as well this morning. The Hoosier gas average is $3.94. The national average is $4.12. NASA Administrator Jarrett Isaacman said over the weekend the Artemis 3 crew will be announced soon. The mission is set for a 2027 launch. It'll send astronauts to test docking for a commercial spacecraft, moving NASA closer to getting humans back on the moon. Indianapolis police say a shooting happened over the weekend in the parking lot of a Kroger, and it was a dispute over Pokemon cards.
I'm not a collector of them. I understand that, there are some that are very expensive, but this, like I said, we were told an argument. It wasn't like, right now that we know of, it wasn't like somebody was trying to steal one from another person.
IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer. A domestic situation turning fatal in Indianapolis over the weekend. Early Sunday morning, Jarrett Lewis has the details.
Shots going off at a home on Indy's west side just after 12:30 in the morning Sunday. As a result, a man is in the hospital and his daughter is dead. IMPD is calling it a targeted attack.
We believe that these two individuals were targeted by another person or other people, but we believe it's isolated to just these two individuals in this house.
IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer said the father was able to identify the suspect. Police said the man in question is a convicted murderer with a history of domestic violence and drug convictions. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And sports on WIBC at 8:34. The Indiana Pacers wrapped up their season Sunday with a 133-121 loss to the Detroit Pistons, closing out a tough year filled with injuries and 63 losses. Here's head coach Rick Carlisle.
From, all the different things that have happened, the ailments, a lot of stuff with Tyrese, and, he's doing really well, but it's a process. So we'll look forward to that.
Before the game, Tyrese Halliburton thanked fans for hanging in there through a tough season. He missed the year after tearing his Achilles early in Game 7 of last year's NBA Finals. Now the Pacers turn their focus to the NBA Draft Lottery on May 10th. The Indiana Fever enter the WNBA's draft tonight with the 10th overall pick. On Sunday, the team locked in Sophie Cunningham on a new contract ahead of the new season. And Rory McIlroy wins the Masters for the second year in a row, finishing at 12 under at the Augusta National. He becomes only the fourth player to win back-to-back titles, taking home $4.2 million. Scotty Scheffler takes second at 11 under. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:35. Traffic on the 5s. What are you watching, Matt Bear?
Right now, south side, northbound 65, stop and go before Raymond Street into the south split, delayed 4 minutes, and the slowdown continues up to Washington Street. Southbound 65, 70, stop and go from the north split down to Washington. Inbound 69 drags from 96 to 82nd. Westbound 465 tight before 31 Meridian over to Michigan Road. Eastbound 465, stop and go after Michigan Road over to Meridian. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 64 degrees in the American Standard. Cooling weather center. The time is 8:36. It's time to fill up on the news, presented by Simple Quarters. Need to sell your home without the hassle? Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters, 317-900-HOME, 317-900-HOME. Dow futures are down 504. NASDAQ futures are down 157. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. This is not surprising. The talks don't work in Islamabad and Pakistan. The vice president, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, they come home empty-handed because the Iranians really want nuclear weapons. And if you think the regime should have nuclear weapons, well, we're just different people. We'll leave it like that. And when I say different people, that doesn't sound good for the people who want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Doesn't. It makes them look as crazy as they are. But they are. They are just lost and broken, whether it's the American left, the European left, or the woke right. They're just a broken sort that has no concept of winning and no desire to actually see America on top. Somehow, the isolationism is going to bring value. Not being involved in every conflict can bring value. Isolationism does not prevent the enemy from doing enemy things. The market's now falling because instead of a deal, we have a blockade of the strait. The United States is going to keep tankers from moving in and out, which means Iran won't be able to make their money. Now, CENTCOM will not refer to it as a blockade of the strait, but rather a blockade of ports. 6 one, half a dozen of the other, depending on how you like to talk about these things. Oil prices, of course, up. The West Texas crude is back over $100, 104. $104.20 on the West Texas. The Brent crude is lower at $102.30. A 10-year Treasury at 4.33. Gold prices, they haven't spiked. They have not. $4,713 an ounce on the gold. I mean, still outrageously high historically, but hasn't over the last month really gone into fluctuations way higher. Silver price is still $73.58 an ounce, and the Bitcoin is at 70,000. Crypto has not been a fun place. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom announcing that they are not supporting the U.S.-Iran blockade. No, rather they are gathering a international force to have a conversation about what they might talk about at their next conversation, which will set up the conversation for what they might actually do if they aren't scared and go wet themselves. What does it matter that the Iranians are having, the Europeans are having some kind of frank conversation? Meanwhile, the Iranians are threatening the gateway to the Red Sea. They're going to use the Houthi rebels, who they sponsor financially, to be able to do this. This is their response to losing the dollars. But if they lose the dollars, they lose the support. I say make them lose the dollars. I would rather this was all over. I'd rather not want to think about this at all. We have so many other things to discuss. But we got involved. And I believe in winning. And the only way to win is to destroy the regime until the regime is dead. As a matter of fact, there is no other way to win. To think that there's another way to win is certifiable. Truly, truly nuts. If you allow the regime to remain, we're making a mistake. That doesn't mean that the president won't do it. He very well might do that. As for oil prices coming down, not picturing that anytime soon. Although if you are to believe the charting, the president talking about it yesterday, more and more people coming to the Gulf of America. Gulf of America. We only renamed that like a year ago. That's how long this has been, guys. Just a year. We still have like 2.5 plus more years to go. So stick with it. People coming to the Gulf of America to get their oil because people find a way. Countries find a way. Companies find a way. They're going to get it easy. They're going to get it with less stress. They're going to get it in a way that makes it more cost effective. This is not new. Not shocking. So maybe we're going to make our money that way. We'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. We'll see how that keeps up. We'll see if we can keep up with demand. In the meantime, things are not done with the regime. This fight still goes on, and it will only be over when, as I believe it, when the regime is destroyed. But President Trump sees it differently. And his response is, well, if I can get what I want, that's good enough. If I can get them to stop the nuclear weapons, that's good enough. But after seeing the absolute failure there in Islamabad, we all have to be on the same page that you cannot ration or reason with these people. You certainly can't trust them, which no one should ever have trusted them. But how many more ways do they have to show you exactly how nutty they are, how focused they are, how much they want to be North Korea, which is what this is all about. If you let them have a nuclear weapon, you destabilize the Middle East like you've destabilized the Korean Peninsula and large swaths of the Pacific Rim. Nobody should want that. Except for, of course, the American left, the European left, and the woke right. Tony Katz, 93, WIBC. Good morning. If you have foot pain, you can get rid of it with the Good Feet store. Walk in there, even on those hurting feet, and talk to other arch support specialists. Get your free fitting. You don't need an appointment. The free fitting, the free test walk, talk about the possibility of what it is to have a pain-free future with the Good Feet store, the customized orthotics made in the USA, 100% U.S. origin materials, a lifetime warranty. It's a 3-step system. The strengtheners, the maintainers, and the relaxers. And what you do, if you follow the system, you can end up with less pain or no pain because you're finally getting balance in your foot, support for your arches. Yeah, that's right. 4 arches in the foot. You didn't know that. You'll learn this at the Good Feet store. And then you get proper alignment in your knees and your hips and your lower back. And yeah, it takes a little while. It'd be like, this is weird. This is it's a strange feeling. And then you'll start feeling great. The Good Feet store can make it happen. Talk to the professionals at the Good Feet store today. 2 Indy area locations for you at Clearwater at the Crossing and in Greenwood just off of 65. Go online to goodfeet.com. Goodfeet.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Code Red. The left, the right, China, and the race to control AI.
What needs to be controlled? Most people, maybe they've downloaded ChatGPT, because I make AI videos of like Nigel making out with Whoopi Goldberg, and we put that on our social media. I don't think there's a race for China to try to outdo us in that category.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what's going on?
Outside northbound 65 delayed 3 minutes of Keystone Avenue up to South Split. That is a construction delay. We continue to slow up to Washington Street at southbound 6570 stop and go from the North Split down to Fletcher. On northbound 65, we had a stall at Thompson Road. That is cleared up. Traffic is good to go. Northwest side on southbound 465 approaching 965. Debris reported on the right side of the roadway. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 64 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:45.
This is Sammy Terry. There are 2 things guaranteed in life: death and taxes. Death can be painful, but paying your taxes doesn't have to be, with a little extra cash in your pocket from Indiana Unclaimed. Yes, George, you're right. George the Spider reminds us that Indiana Unclaimed returns over $1 million every single week, and there are hundreds of millions of dollars just waiting to be claimed by the rightful owner. Text Sammy to 46220 to find out if you or your loved ones have unclaimed funds. Claim yours today. Text Sammy to 46220 now.
Paid for by the Office of the Indiana Attorney General.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay. Calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry. I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
See Kid Rock live with John Party on Friday, June 19th at Ruoff Music Center. One huge night of country and rock you won't want to miss. Get your tickets now at WIBC.com.
It's Redemption Monday!
It's time to play America's favorite game. What the heck is that television theme song? Here's how we play our game. Producer Carl has selected a television theme song from yesteryear. I have to guess what it is, but since it is Monday, it is Redemption Monday, which means this is one that I already got wrong. But now I have a chance to redeem myself by guessing again. I don't have it. I don't have it at all. I am allowed to use the chat room for help. We are live streaming on the YouTube, youtube.com/WIBC. Good to see everybody in there. And then, of course, I'm allowed to phone a friend, which I will do. Matt Bear. Matthew Horatio Bear. What is this television theme song?
Tony, that's the Civil War with Ken Burns.
Close.
Yeah, it
Close.
sounds like a Civil War thing.
Right? I'm going to go with the chat room here because I don't know. I don't keep some things in my head. I'm going to go with the chat room here and say that this is the theme song to all my children. There it is.
But Tony, for you, for another week.
Wait, you dinged it.
Yeah, I dinged it, but you didn't get it. So
I don't care. I'm allowed to use the chat room.
What the hell?
I want to hear I've been redeemed. What is this?
There's no redemption here.
There's no redemption. Well, it is radio. It is what it is.
Shame that man.
Right? Oh, please. I don't need to be shamed. I already do this every day. Please. Let me tell you, there's never a room that I'm in where I'm not fully aware that these people are like, oh, he's here. Oh, no. Trust me, they make it very obvious. I don't even want to get into it, but it's getting weirder by the second. All right, so that is how we play the game. Tune in tomorrow, won't you? And there'll be another theme song. We'll see if I get it right or producer Carl decides to change the rules on me at the last minute. That's the kind of person that producer Carl is. On Tony Katz today, at noon, we'll have the latest on what's going on with Iran, with this, what we're calling a blockade, which I guess is the way to call it. Also, I'm scheduled on Newsmax at 11. So if you want to be watching, I will be on Newsmax at 11 a.m. Yes, I will be wearing pants. No sound effect for that? Hey now. Oh, really? Okay. All right. That's more people should be bothered by the fact that I'm indeed going to be wearing pants.
Oh, God!
See? They should be that upset. Right there. Pants.
Oh, for you.
There we go. Much better. We will also get into the Eric Swalwell story. Now, follow me. Just so we understand each other. What we are seeing in the Eric Swalwell story, where he has dropped out of the gubernatorial race in California, is the whole point was to get him to drop out of the gubernatorial race in California. you have what I believe they refer to it as a jungle primary. And what happens is that everybody's running, Republicans, Democrats, the commies, the whole thing. The top two vote getters, they are the nominees, and they're in the runoff for who's the governor, which means you can have two people from the same party. The leaders right now in California are Chad Bianco, Republican, and Steve Hilton, Republican. In third was Eric Swalwell. The Democrats were all bifurcated, all divided. This is a race where also Katie Porter is running, the former congresswoman who is just a nasty person. She's a nasty person. Go look for yourself. Swalwell's running, and clearly these things were known about Eric Swalwell, that Eric Swalwell was abusing women, that Eric Swalwell was alleged to have raped a woman, that he was paying his nanny, who was in the country illegally, under the table with campaign funds. Also, Eric Swalwell has an AI company, and according to multiple sources on the Hill, he was very aggressive about trying to get other members of Congress to use his AI company for this, that, and the other thing. Very aggressive about it. So all this is out there about Swalwell. So what happens? They start pushing the story. Women start coming forward. The data starts coming out. The allegations fly. There's video of him with other women. This was a concerted effort, coordinated effort to get him out of the race. So therefore, Democrats have coalesced around another Democrat because they don't care that Katie Porter is a terrible person, totally unlikable, and most importantly, she is accused of physical harm. She allegedly attacked her ex-husband by dumping a bowl of hot, was it mashed potatoes or hot potatoes, a pot over his head. That's in the divorce documents. She's an awful, awful person, screaming at her staff and the whole thing. And Democrats are going to rally around her. Maybe they'll rally. Is Tom Steyer running in that race? Maybe rally around another Democrat. All of this was to get him out or get any Democrat out so they could bring together people around another candidate. That's the only reason. There is no way you're going to get me to believe that they really wanted him out. They knew what he was like and they didn't care. Now the question is, will he be expelled from Congress? But that's a story for Tony Katz today at noon because others may get expelled as well. I'll catch you then. Right.